difference between sex jokes and you just being horny. That's that. Like
the
Pinaldo one was
both.
The Pinaldo one was a funny sex joke.
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus tie me up and choke me with a fucking.
I said that because it's funny, not because I actually want my.
This is where the confusion is.
It was a bit.
What's confusing about that?
You're horny.
I'm not horny. I'm very non-horny. When was the last time you guys actually thought I was horny?
I mean, all the time.
Yeah.
I'm never horny.
All the time. On today's part of My Take, we have a twofer for the people. We have an awesome interview with Meta World Sandiford, also known as Ron Artest, also known as Meta World Peace.
I really wish that we had gotten to talk to him today after the Facebook rebrand.
Yes.
To get some tips for old Zuck.
Yes. We have Usain Bolt. We have Week 8 preview and picks. Firefest of the Week, a great Friday show sending you into the weekend.
We actually have another special guest in the studio right now.
Yeah, well, I was going to wait till we started the show, and I was going to bring him up. Whitey's here, Billy's dog. He's now underneath me. He's now climbing underneath me. We're brought to you by our friends at Cross Country Mortgage. Cross Country Mortgage is the best place in the world to get a mortgage. If you're looking to buy a home, if you're looking to refinance your current home, Cross Country Mortgage is the place to be. Rates are all-time low. They may never get this low again. Call today for a fast, free rate quote. Our partners will save you a lot of money. Call today, and our friends at Cross Country Mortgage will give you a free home valuation that is free to you just for calling. Just like the all-star athlete, Cross Country Mortgage pushes themselves through the entire lending process. If they get blocks, they figure out ways around to get the ball over the line. Don't miss the window as rates are expected to creep up. Go to crosscountrymortgage.com/barstool to learn more about your future home buying experience or refinance your current mortgage. Cross Country Mortgage LLC, NMLS 3029. All loans subject to underwriting approval. www.nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by Cross Country Mortgage. Go right now to crosscountrymortgage.com/barstool. Today is Friday, October 29th, and I hate Aaron Rodgers so goddamn much. What a Thursday night football game. A.J. Green with the run block of the year when it was clearly a pass, and the last undefeated team is no more. Pop that champagne, Mercury Morris and Frank the Tank. The 72 Dolphins keep it intact. The Cardinals go to 7-1. Also, so I was thinking about this. I was very upset. I hate Aaron Rodgers. The Packers find a way to win these games. But then I got a little bit of a smile across my face because Whitey, Billy's dog, is here. Looks like he's about to take a piss.
He has roughly the same attention span as Billy, and he breathes. If you were to slow down his breath and play it at like half speed, I'm pretty sure it sounds like Hank yawning.
Yes. So, but here's the thing. I'm mad because I hate the Packers, and that was whatever. That game was bullshit the way it ended. I was laughing though because while Whitey was running around the hallways, Hank was on his skateboard, and I just heard Billy scream to Hank, "Yo, Hank! Whitey might actually be able to skateboard."
Dude, it actually makes sense with Bulldogs.
But his dog's never been on a skateboard.
But Bulldogs know how to skateboard. It's like Newfoundlands just know how to swim through ice. I think Bulldogs, they just, you put a board in front of them, they're gnarly.
But he's not a full Bulldog. What is he?
American Bulldog.
Okay, he's an American Bulldog. But I think you have to actually practice once with your dog before
they just know.
Like, yo, Hank, he could probably skateboard.
There was a moment where he said that, and I kind of like tossed the skateboard towards Whitey, thinking we were about to unleash something viral, and Whitey just ran away scared.
Yeah, I think you have to
though.
actually train your dog to skateboard.
How many Bulldogs have you seen on YouTube?
A ton.
A million.
But I do
Rob
think
Dyrdek's.
Yeah.
Right.
There was a Robin Bale.
Oh, no. I'm not saying, let's just get this straight. I'm not saying dogs can't skateboard. I've seen many dogs skateboard. I think you have to actually work with your dog to learn how to skateboard. Billy was just like, I think he could skateboard.
I love this dog. I love having a dog in the studio. Apologies to Jake, who did take a Zyrtec tonight.
Oh, you
so
okay,
in
Jake?
case you get all itchy.
So good.
Damn.
Yeah.
This is Billy's revenge for the David Buster's video. What were you saying?
There was a movie, MXP, Most Extreme Primate, and it's the snowboarding chimpanzee.
Oh, the chimpanzee. Yeah, I know.
It's like Air Bud.
Don't mansplain MXP to me. I know all about it. If there's a movie that's been made about an animal that can do stuff a human does, I've already seen it 3 times.
What's in that?
Do you have a box of chili?
Yeah, I got a box of chicken parm that I made last night.
Okay, good.
Here.
Because there
all
was
sealed
a chance that maybe that had been there for a while.
No, I brought it in today. I had it for my lunch today.
That's been there for a while.
No, it's fine. Whitey's safe. But yeah, back to the game. I think that I'm glad that the Packers won tonight. And I'm not saying that to get under your skin. I'm saying that as someone who bet on the Cardinals to even cover the spread. I just think I'm glad knowing that Mercury Morris is able to get drunk in peace tonight.
Yes.
And I didn't want him to have to suffer throughout the year without having a sip of alcohol. Although I'm pretty sure that he probably just pops a bottle of champagne every Sunday.
Yes.
Just hoping.
It was bullshit, though, because DeAndre Hopkins got injured, and no game should count if your wide receiver 1 is out. So I think that's a bullshit win for the Packers. But
he did have the best play of the night, though.
Yeah, he
DeAndre
did.
Hopkins, he did something
Yes.
I've never seen on a football field before, which is a wide receiver continuing to run a route as the ball is in the air. He faked going for the back shoulder catch with both his body and his hands, and it worked like a charm.
It was incredible.
He happened to just stiff-arm the wide receiver and get his face mask
dog-walked him.
and dragged him into the end zone with him, which is one of those plays where it was cool enough that it just should have counted.
Yeah, but it was a very good performance for the Packers. They obviously were missing some guys, and they found a way. It's one of those things that I actually would have this take even if it weren't the Packers. I know people will say you're being biased, but didn't it feel like it was like an unfulfilling ending because it was building up to something huge, and it's like, oh shit!
I wanted an
What
overtime.
happened there?
I wanted.
Yeah,
Here's what I
that was
wanted
great.
out of that game.
Yeah, I know it was.
I wanted overtime. I wanted a missed field goal in an overtime. It
Yeah.
felt like one of those games that was going to keep going back and forth, back and forth.
Right, free football.
The Packers didn't use A.J. Dillon. I'm very confused about the Packers offense because they get inside the 5-yard line and then they just forget how to run the ball, even though they were just smashing face masks all night, getting 8 yards a clip when it felt like just at will. When they wanted to get it, they could get it. You've got a guy that weighs 250 pounds with quads the size of redwoods. What do they call? They call him Quadzilla, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have Quadzilla in your backfield. Just let him get you 1 yard.
And the Packers probably did score on that touchdown. I don't know. That was a very bizarre. They didn't really review it. They did, but didn't. That was a weird. There was a couple plays at the end where the refs were just like, "Fuck it, we're just gonna keep playing."
Yeah.
The first down the Cardinals got in the red zone with 15 seconds left. That wasn't a first down, and they're like, "Nah, fuck it, let's just keep going."
Yeah. So the story out of Glendale tonight, I think, is that Kyler Murray is soft. He's a soft football player. I haven't heard anybody drop the S-bomb on him.
Okay.
I think he gets a lot of leniency because he's a short king, and I actually just think that he's a little bit soft. I think
He did get rolled up on pretty bad on that last tackle.
But there were a couple times when he could have gotten an extra yard that was actually meaningful. It usually doesn't make a difference if a quarterback is scrambling, you get 6 yards on first down or 7 yards on first down. But he's going out of bounds before he gets the first down on the final drive. He's diving really early. And I know that he's got a small frame, so he gets lit up a lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have a hard time calling anyone soft who's his size playing against guys twice his size.
Oh, I have
getting
no problem.
smoked.
That's my job.
Yeah.
Is to just be a complete and total hypocrite and dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no problem doing that. I feel like I can say it about him because I'm short.
The other news out of the other story out of Glendale, I don't know if you guys heard this, but J.J. Watt out for the season. Very sad. But also, at least we had Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. I don't know how they got all the details about this, but a true superhuman. Are Schefter and Rappaport just the Watt brothers' agents? Because we had the TJ Watt. Remember, TJ Watt said, "I got to go to work," right after he signed his contract.
Then he went right in. He went right into the weight room.
This one we had. So Schefter was like, Cardinals defensive end J.J. Watt will undergo surgery, what is now likely season-ending surgery. Watt hurt his shoulder in the second quarter Sunday and still managed to play the rest of the game with the injury. And I was like, what? Okay, I don't think he did play the rest of the game, but still, okay, that probably was a stupid move, but yeah, we'll frame it that way.
He probably kept getting it injured.
Yeah, and then Rappaport had a multiple tweets where he was like, "What will keep J.J. Watt down? Well, how about this? Hold on, I'm going to find the actual one. How serious does an injury have to be to sideline J.J. Watt? Sources say he actually tore his labrum, his bicep, and his rotator cuff, and dislocated his shoulder. Watt was playing some of his best football and helped to change the culture for the undefeated Arizona team.
Okay, as a survivor of that exact injury, that's all one injury. Yeah. That's when you dislocate your shoulder and it pops back into place. You tear your rotator cuff, your labrum. You can damage the bicep. You can break, like that's what Baker has.
Yeah.
You can break the top of your arm. That's all one. But that's a great tweet. I love what those guys are doing for the Watt family.
Yeah, they're just making sure everyone knows.
But I've got a personal attack. It seems like, actually, it's not a personal attack. This is a tweet from Adam Schefter. Hank, you will definitely appreciate this. It's the picture of Aaron Rodgers, of him after he got hit on that roughing the passer penalty on the touchdown pass. And Adam Schefter just tweeted out, "It's okay being the weak-chinned, no-ass guy."
What?
Yeah, I don't get it. It just seems like, I don't know, shout out Hank Lockwood.
Damn.
Yeah,
What-
fuck yeah.
What was that?
He got chirped.
Oh, that was mean towards Hank.
He got chirped by McAfee.
Got it.
Oh, okay.
Got it. So that was his response?
I guess so. But I have a take about Aaron Rodgers and his helmet. I think that his greasy hair makes it slide off more easily.
No, he got chirped. No. He got chirped by Rodgers on McAfee's show. So that was a direct response of what Rodgers said to him.
Got it.
That's what it was.
Okay.
Rodgers doesn't. He never puts his helmet on correctly, so I don't feel bad.
I think it's the grease hair.
He just doesn't put his helmet. He doesn't snap it correctly. He's so what is the word? Laissez-faire about all of his equipment and whole demeanor.
I think we need to do our last guesses on what his big Halloween costume is going to be, because he says that's why he keeps growing out his hair and his facial hair. I'm actually rescinding my previous take that he's going as young Michael Scott from The Office. I think he's going to either be Joe Dirt or he's going to be Happy Gilmore's caddy, I think.
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow, I like that. That's actually perfect because a couple years late, he'll think it's cool. Fuck that. Yeah, Jon Snow. I like that, Hank. Billy? John Wick? John
Okay,
Wick?
yeah.
You just went John to John.
I feel like that's
John
not...
Wick's actually not a bad call either, though.
Yeah, but it's not enough irony for him, I don't think.
I don't know. He might be like, this guy's badass. I'm
Yeah.
badass.
He also might just not be anything and be like, you know what I mean? Like put on a denim jacket and be like, I'm just cool Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, go
I'm
as
cooler
himself.
Aaron Rodgers.
I could see actually, J.J. Watt, I could see getting dressed up as a young kid getting dressed up as J.J. Watt.
I don't know if you... Do you really think that he's going to get dressed up? Do I have to read to you his injury again?
Oh, he can have somebody else. No, he's going to go as an injured
Bro,
J.J. Watt.
I don't... you must not have been listening, but J.J. Watt, the J.J. Watt, he actually tore his labrum, his bicep, and his rotator cuff, and dislocated his shoulder. And then played several plays.
And got dressed up potentially for Halloween.
By the way, and I'm not making fun of J.J. Watt's injury. It does suck very badly for him, and he was having a good year with the undefeated team. It's making fun of Rappaport and Schefter, who have to, by law, they have to make sure that anytime a Watt gets injured or does anything, they make it as badass as possible.
Yeah, thank you for your service, Watt family.
Yes.
We really appreciate it.
Please make sure the liner notes list every single injury and that he played several more plays.
Well, one of Roger Goodell's many jobs that he has to do that earns him a nice, neat salary of $128 million over the course of 2 years is he acts like he is the United States military in Saving Private Ryan. So if you have two Watt brothers that get hurt, Roger Goodell parachutes in and just flies away with the last one like the fan man.
Yeah, Derek Watt will be saved if TJ goes down.
Yeah, I also
make sure.
I noticed tonight that Kyler, I feel like he got taller in the second half.
Well, he got taller with the color rush.
He was short, I think, in the first half when he was wearing the yellow shoes, and then he changed to the white shoes, which gave you an optical. It adds like 2 inches.
And it's also way faster. White shoes are always faster.
Definitely.
Always. But yeah, great Thursday night football game. Feels like this is setting up for a great weekend of football. And we needed this. We needed this. We needed this as America to have a football game like that. It was fantastic, even though I'm very upset that the Packers won. And you know what? I mean, the Packers are fucking for real. And the NFC is fucking loaded. It's crazy now because when you think about who can win the Super Bowl, yeah, I mean, you throw in the Bills. The Bengals are playing great. The Raiders are playing well. The Ravens. But, all those teams, you're looking at them, you're like, but I think you feel pretty solid about the Packers, the Bucks, the Rams, and the Cardinals, and the Cowboys.
Cowboys too.
Those are 5 really fucking good teams, all in the NFC.
I also think that the Seahawks obviously aren't going to be a factor in it when it gets down to it. But if Russell Wilson hadn't gotten injured, I would say that the Seahawks are in the mix to they're a make some noise team. they could get in the playoffs and win a game.
I think Russell Wilson will come back and they'll ruin someone's season.
They
will
spoil.
not make the playoffs.
No,
not with Geno Smith.
Not with Geno, but with Russ, they definitely will.
And it'll be in game
Somebody's
shape.
going to get really pissed off about having to go to Seattle at the end of December.
They'll be in game shape because he's been doing those practices that keep getting spied on by the national television cameras.
I also think that tonight we got our first real dose of is Thursday Night Football bad. For the NFL. There were a lot of injuries tonight. They played that slow Fox injury music on repeat tonight. I think it actually got played more than the real Fox music.
Yeah, I always appreciate those tweets from like the national media who gets paid to cover the NFL and gets paid well to cover the NFL because the NFL's a monster, being like so gluttonous of the NFL to play Thursday Night Football, all these injuries.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if the NFL could get away with it, they'd play a game every single night.
I would love that.
Can't figure that out.
And we would watch it.
Yeah, of course we'd watch
But
it.
I would also be like, this is fucked up that they're making these players play on Tuesday night. Meanwhile, I'm watching every second of it.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting close to the time of season where we start blaming the 18-game schedule or the 17-game schedule, the 18-week season.
What's that going to be like in the last week?
Yeah.
In week 17, if there are injuries, be like, this never would have happened.
This wouldn't have happened. There wouldn't have been any more football. Okay. We'll get to some more stuff. First, we got a word from our sponsor. Quick word from our friends at HelloFresh. Fall can be hectic, but HelloFresh recipes save time you'd otherwise spend on meal prepping, grocery shopping, and shopping, so you can focus on getting back into a new routine and spending quality time with the family. HelloFresh offers 50 menu and market items to choose from every week, including vegetarian, calorie-smart, gourmet options, providing plenty of variety. I cooked. It was some type of chicken with rice that was absolutely delicious. I felt good cooking it. I felt even better eating it. Don't order takeout every single night. Treat yourself to a good home-cooked meal that doesn't take a ton of time, that doesn't take a lot of money at the grocery store, because HelloFresh is over 30% cheaper than grocery stores with pre-portioned ingredients that ensure you don't spend money on excess food. How many times a week or how many times a month do you have to clean out your refrigerator with a bunch of stuff you didn't end up eating? Well, HelloFresh makes sure that doesn't happen because they send you exactly what you need for a great home-cooked meal. So go to HelloFresh.com/PMT. Use code PMT for up to 15 or 14 free meals. PMT 14 for 14 free meals, including free shipping. HelloFresh.com/PMT. Use code PMT 14 for up to 14 free meals, including free shipping. HelloFresh.com/PMT. HelloFresh.com/PMT. America's PMT 14, America's #1 meal kit. One more time for the people in back. HelloFresh.com/PMT 14. Okay, before we get to our weekend preview, let's talk a little baseball. I am pre-sad for the city of Atlanta.
Why are you already pre-sad? You don't have to do that just yet.
Because Charlie Morton breaking his leg, and that happened Wednesday night after we don't have a show Thursday. Charlie Morton breaking his leg. Unbelievable performance. The fact that he kept pitching. It was 16 pitches he had after that. It's going to be very tough for the Braves to win this World Series without their #1, and that sucks.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we have the biggest wild card of all that could come up, and that's our good friend Uncle Chaps is coming up to New York next week. He has a full beard. The Astros might find themselves in a position to clinch a World Series game, in which case Chaps is going to have to get creamed by Boris.
Oh, yeah, he is.
He's going to have to shave that beard.
When is he coming?
I think he's coming Monday.
Okay, so the series might be. I'm full sad. I'm pre-sad, full sad for the Braves. I do not think the Braves are going to be able to survive without Charlie Morton.
I think it's going to go 6 at least.
But if the Astros win in 6, that's still full sad.
It's still full sad.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying.
You're burying them. It's 1-1.
I'm not burying them. I just know, if you're a Braves fan, you can't feel great about the fact. If I had said 1-1, you'd be like, that's awesome. We got one in Houston. Oh, yeah, but your ace is out. Yikes, especially in a World Series where it's like you
can always toss the ace in a later game.
You always go ace, all right, when you map out a World Series, you're like, all right, Game 1, Game 4, and maybe some Game 7.
Yeah, they might get in Game 7, yeah.
You always have to do that game in your head where that's how you plan out the World Series. And now with Charlie Morton, unless he can How long, Billy? You're a doctor. How long does it take to fix a broken leg?
Well, it was a fractured fibula, which
Okay.
was a non-weight bearing bone.
Okay.
So I don't think it's going to be as long as like a full
So,
like,
compound
3 days?
If
fracture.
this series goes 6 weeks, he could be back.
Yeah.
You never know.
Rain, what about the Rays
Rain.
and the Phillies?
Well, if there's rain delays,
Yeah, right. That was a week off.
Sorry, no offense, Hank. Cover your ears. If there's bad weather and the games get delayed, then yes, he could come back.
Mm-hmm.
It's a non-weight bearing bone.
Did you lose on the under on game 2 because of the tornado?
No, but I have a weather update.
It
The
was
weather
so,
gods have been.
It was so perfect that
Weather gods have been listening.
we've been heavy
Say
on
that.
the weather on this show, and then all of a sudden there's a tornado warning in Houston before game 2. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, that's real weather.
Yeah, tornadoes is real wind.
Yeah.
So yeah, non-weight bearing. I mean, he could try to pitch on it. It just hurts. That's the thing. I've had a broken fibula before.
So just figure it out.
it just
dude.
hurts. Just tape
Yeah.
it up.
Yeah, just work through it. I don't know.
Soccer player would tape it up.
I'm sad though. Maybe the Braves will
Go
stun
full
us. You know
sad,
what?
Big Cat.
All right,
Don't go
fine.
full
Fuck
sad.
it. You know what? I won't go full sad. Bloopy's got a way to rally the troops. The Braves will shock the world.
You wouldn't. You sneak a win in. You're halfway there.
That's true.
All they
Sneak
got
a win in.
All they got to do, they got to steal one.
All you got to do is
if they can steal one
Listen.
with a bullpen game, I think the Braves can win this World Series.
if they can steal one, then they sneak one in. Then they just got to win an elimination game. Mm-hmm. That's
Game
not
7,
that
anything
hard.
can happen.
Anything can happen.
That's right.
That's not
yeah.
that hard.
They just need a couple breaks to go their way.
I just hate the Astros. They're so good. They are just so good. I don't know.
It's illegal.
It is.
literally.
It's illegal how good they are.
It does seem like it shouldn't be physically possible for Jose Altuve to go yard. It always looks so weird, like he's one of those little kids in backyard baseball up to
Yeah.
bat, and then he crushes the ball 380
Pablo
feet.
Sanchez.
Yeah, he's Pablo Sanchez.
It's unfortunate.
But it's like it's almost it. I get what you're saying, but I also every time I watch him hit a home run, I'm like, it does make sense because he's like so compact, and it's like he attacks the ball. His whole body like thrown at the
Dustin
thrown at the-
Pedroia.
Yeah, similar. Where it's like if you everything that you throw to Altuve is like chest high because he doesn't have a strike zone.
Yeah.
So he just basically jumps at the ball and it goes out.
He knows where the ball is going to be because it's such a small amount of space,
Right.
a small amount of airspace that the ball has to hit for it to be a strike. There was at one point a little person, an actual little person or dwarf, who was in Major League Baseball, and he wore number like
1/8.
1/8.
I think
Yeah,
it was.
a fraction number. And then the commissioner of baseball said we can't have any more little people because their strike
Eddie?
zone is too small.
Eddie,
That's
was it Eddie?
It
For
might
the
have been
Cardinals.
Eddie. That sounds like discrimination to me.
Eddie for the Cardinals. I want to say.
Why can't you get a little person up to bat?
Eddie Cardinals little person?
Eddie Gadel.
There we go. Cardinals.
1925 to 1961.
Cardinals.
Wait, he played for 40 years?
No, that was his death.
Yeah, I know.
Unfortunate.
R.I.P. Eddie.
Browns. St. Louis Browns. Close enough. He had one plate appearance.
Also, PFT, you got to be careful with the word bullpen. PETA's trying to change it to the arm barn.
Yeah,
my
I'm
God.
actually okay with that. I think that the arm barn is a much cooler name for it. Arm barn is fucking sweet.
Yeah, but PETA,
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, if it was anybody else delivering this message, I think it could catch on. Like arm barn is legitimately.
It sounds like a UFC move.
To use a phrase coined by our good friend Tony Khan, it's lit.
Yeah, it is very lit. Okay. Sorry to anyone who. There's a couple people I see you. I like you who grossly over exaggerate the amount of baseball talk we have on this show. I don't know if you've noticed this, but if we talk, what we do? 10 minutes of baseball right there. 8 minutes.
Was it 8 minutes on dwarves?
Shout
and
out
then 2 minutes on
Shout
baseball.
out the couple people that will tweet us tomorrow and be like, another 3 hours about baseball. I like those guys
because it reminds people how long baseball games are. It's the exact same.
It's crazy.
We should put every time we talk about baseball, we should have a 20-second pause in between sentences.
Yes.
To remind them of pitches.
Yeah. All right. Before we do the weekend preview as well, serious topic, which sucks. We had to talk about it, but I should talk about it. The Blackhawks controversy. Not a controversy. It's just a total fuck up, terrible story. Kyle Beach revealed himself as John Doe on Wednesday night. If you don't know the story, essentially one of the video coaches for the Blackhawks assaulted Kyle Beach back in 2010. And as far as I can understand this entire story, pretty much everyone knew and pretty much no one did anything except maybe one guy who I think it was John Vincent, who was the security guard for the team. It's a terrible story. It's a reminder that, like, you know, we idolize these players and these, you know, franchises, and a lot of people are very flawed and also bad people. And I think that the Blackhawks should, you know, clean house. They did clean house. Stan Bowman was out, but the whole thing is a terrible story. It feels like, you know, they went years and years trying to cover it up. They did no justice to Kyle Beach. Finally, he feels like he has justice. And I'll be honest with you, from like a sports fan perspective, it does feel like 2010. You know, it feels lesser than, because it's terrible that everyone looked the other way on a real human issue instead of addressing it and getting justice. And the whole story is really, really messed up, because then the coach then went to a high school in Michigan and assaulted another kid. Just a reminder that, like, sports are not everything. Like, when real things happen and real bad people do stuff, speaking up is very important. So
I read this report and I was very confused why this person wasn't in prison already. Why
really,
why
really
in the
shitty.
world, like, after reporting it, it just got, like, bottled up and nobody discussed it, and no charges were pressed against the guy, and then he ends up, you're right, he ends up going to a high school and repeating this exact behavior.
I'll tell you why. Because it's you know, similar. It's not the same as Penn State, but it's similar in that when you have high intensity sports, people will do anything to win, and they will push anything aside to win, including human beings. And Kyle Beach is a human being who is crying for help, and it's disgusting. And the Blackhawks should be insanely ashamed. And, like, that's not something that you can, you know, talk away. I know they had a tweet last night that was just so tone deaf again. It's a total embarrassment. I'm happy that Kyle Beach, it seems like he finally feels like he's getting justice, but man, is a bad story.
So I don't know what the NHL is going to do about it, but I do know it always feels like a little weird and uncomfortable and just a little bit off when something like this happens, and then the league's response is like, well, we're going to punish your hockey team. Like, we're going to take away draft picks or whatever. Like, there should be actual criminal repercussions for this. Forget about what happens on the ice. Like, I don't want to hear about, like, them losing money towards a salary. I want to hear about somebody being actually punished for this.
And you know, it's hard when it's 10 years ago and people are saying, you know, different recollection of things. The approach I always take in these situations is everyone knew. Like, everyone knew. That's just, it's, if you've been in a locker room, if you've been in a work, you know, community, if you've worked closely with people, those things don't, you can't be like, oh, I had no idea.
There were
Everyone
absolutely
knew.
whispers.
Everyone knew, and everyone should feel blame and be held accountable for it. And it shouldn't be a situation where it's like, well, he might not have known, he might not. No. Everyone, I'm going to assume everyone knew, and people should be insanely ashamed. And like you said, you know, I don't know what the criminal like status of all of this is, but people should feel terrible because they look the other way of something that they should have addressed immediately.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah. All right. So we had to address that. I did appreciate that one guy last night. So last night I was watching Cars with my son, and I was kind of off Twitter, and I hopped on to just ask a question that I've been wondering about how the Cars might, you know, date each other. And this one guy was like, how could you tweet something like this when there's new information coming out about the Blackhawks? And I was like, you can't be serious, dude.
That to me just tells me that it's actually, that person has
a
the
pervert.
sick brain.
Yes.
That person is disgusting.
Yes. He did the whole block everyone, like change his Twitter, do everything when he realized how ridiculous of a leap that was.
Yeah, no, that's that in that person's mind, asking how cars fuck each other is analogous to sexual assault.
And as always, we talk about it many times on Twitter, but it does always tickle me when the Read the Room crowd comes out and it's like, you have seen this story that's very serious, and your response is to go then police other people's tweets.
And the answer to that question is the convertibles just take their top off.
How do cars fuck in the movie Cars?
Yeah.
They're all horny and some are clearly in relationships, but how do they have sex?
Dude,
they have tailpipes.
In Cars 1...
I've thought about this many times.
But, all right, so in Cars
stuff.
1...
Is there like...
In Cars
do they
1...
have kids?
We don't know how the cars are invented, but there are kid cars. But in Cars 1... Lightning McQueen and the Porsche, like, he sees the Porsche has a tramp stamp, and he's like, oh, I didn't know you get down like that. And they go on a date and all that stuff. And it's like, how does this What do they do?
Well, here's the deal, kids. Some of the cars are automatics, and the others have stick shifts. And when they love each other very much, you can drive on top of another car.
I also like the one guy who's like, someday your kids are going to read these tweets. I'm like, someday my kids are going to fucking watch all my videos, and I hope that they have a good sense of humor, and I raise them correctly to know that life's not too serious, and piss your pants if you want to.
At that point in the world, cars might actually be having sex with each other.
Yeah.
That's the next step for Elon Musk.
I really need Cars 4 to come out, though, because I've watched Cars 1, 2, and 3 a billion times. A billion times. That's all I do.
Rank them.
Actually, I think I'm starting to like. Actually, I'll save it for our fantasy because I actually have it in my fantasy fathers, which we'll get to in a minute. But again, I am a father, so I don't really know how to do that. Fantasy fathers. I'm just gonna be myself.
That works.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I'm a fuck boy.
You're a fuck boy. I'm a fuck boy. All right, let's do our weekend preview. Enough serious stuff. What are the standings?
Hank in first at 16, 11, and 1. PFT
17.
in the hot seat at 16 and 12.
Oh,
Big
boy.
Cat 15 and 13. Billy, tip of the cap, 14 and 14.
Damn.
working.
But he said he's quitting that.
Wow.
He said he's quitting, right?
Why would you quit
He's
that?
quitting, but he's trying to reverse it this week.
Why would you do that? You're killing it.
Well, I'm at a perfect 50-50 how I planned. So I decided, you know what? Maybe I'm just going to try to go win it all.
4-0. You're going 4-0 this week?
I think I'm going to try this week.
Whoa.
I think I'm going to go.
He has, to Billy's credit, he's always said, I'm going to go 2-2 every single week so that I can finish right in the middle and not have to drive to LA. You are 14 and 14. You deserve all the credit in the world.
Thank you.
So now 4-0
It's a long
this week.
season, though. That's
I don't
the
know why
thing.
you'd switch it up. Why are
Your
you
formula is perfect right now.
Billy,
you can't get any better with what you've been trying to do and the outcome that you've achieved.
Billy.
So what is your goal for trying to switch it up?
I want to prove that I can pick winners.
No, but you have proved.
But you don't want to win. That's what's so very confusing to me. You don't want to win this.
You have proved it, too. You've proved that you know the outcomes of these games by going 14 and 14.
Right, but I'm going to be honest. The road trip kind of sounds fun.
So you're going to try to leapfrog and get into second place.
I'm going to try to finish in second.
All right, so you're going 4-0 this week.
I'm going to try to.
Nah, you need to.
I'm going to try to go over 50% this
All right,
week.
okay, there it is. All right, let's get to our picks.
And
now.
Liam and
actually-
I 13 and 15.
At the bottom?
Yes.
All right, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. So
Liam
Liam and
and PFT.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can.
The
I
whole
can
group
roll
is
with Liam.
separated by 3.5 games. It's very
Damn.
tight. Yeah.
It's very tight.
Yeah, so-
Jake won, so you're last.
Bubba, you're in last place.
This will confuse us all
It's
the way
going to be
through
very
week
confusing
18.
if Billy actually ends up going on this trip and finishes in second place because he's going to love being on the trip, and chances are whoever's in last place is absolutely going to hate being on the trip with Billy,
KMS.
making the trip even
can't say
more
that.
insane. I would hate to be stuck on a road trip.
I was actually talking
with
about
Billy
the Kirk
in a good
Minahan
move.
show. So.
Suey Bird.
Yeah, that's fine. I can say that. I like that podcast, but also KMS if I have to go with Billy.
Donham come Suey. I think I would have fun with Billy.
I think we'd all have fun with Billy for a day.
For a day,
Yeah, for a day, for one day. All right, let's do picks. Hank, why don't you lead us off? Your favorite. Hank is
Bengals.
Bengals.
Okay, I'm with you.
Minus
Bengals
11
minus
against
11.
the Jets.
Okay.
I mean, again,
You're not a.
I'm not a favorites guy.
Yep.
I don't like any of these.
Yep. It is a. It
And
feels
so
like
I
a
just
dog.
basically went with it does. It definitely does. Definitely feels like the Jets might fuck around and win this game. But I just have to go off the fact that they look so god awfully bad.
And Mike
And
White.
Mike White is starting. As much as I love him, respect him, Boca Raton Bowl legend, I don't think it's his fault that the organization is a complete shit show and they're going to let him down and they're going to get smoked.
I don't think
I don't
that
know. Feels like a letdown.
we never
This
named
could be
it-
a Billy pick that it's going to be a loser.
We never named an MVP of the Boca Raton Bowl, right? We can
He got
do
the
that.
trophy.
We can
He
do
got
that
it.
right
So,
now.
yeah, he was the
the MVP.
I mean, with the winner of the
Winning quarterback
winning
of
quarterback.
the winning team.
Yeah,
So it goes.
So you got- now I did some numbers on this because they also signed Flacco.
Yes.
So
who's not going to be?
I was
suited.
wondering he's not going to be suited.
I thought he couldn't join the team till Friday because of COVID protocols. There's something with that. Look
Flacco's
it up,
going to be in
Jake.
street clothes.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that there's something with COVID protocols that either he's gonna just make it but not have enough time to get up to speed.
So this was weird because I looked up Flacco's record against the Bengals. You would think that at the time that he was a quarterback of the Ravens, the Bengals weren't very good, that he probably had a pretty decent career. No, he actually has a losing record against the Bengals, and I think he's thrown like 20 touchdowns and something like 28 interceptions.
No love lost.
So not great.
Personal reasons. So that's just he just has
He's having another
he has
kid.
to
This
move.
is what's going on.
Yeah,
He just doesn't want to move. Yeah. This week, Hank, there are some underdogs that I love so much that it's scaring me.
Let's go.
It's scaring me. All right, Bubba.
Help me with my hungry dog.
All right, Bubba.
I'm taking Dallas -1.5
Okay.
off a bye.
I like it too.
Like, is Dak back or no?
Vikings also off a bye.
Yeah, but they stink.
It means
Okay.
it means more. Yeah, it means more.
But it's hard to do the off a bye when the other team is also off a bye.
Kirk Cousins off a bye in prime time is like double prime time. It's too much expectations on Kirk Cousins this weekend.
I love the Vikings in that game. I do. I feel like the Vikings and we never say nice things about Kirk Cousins, and I hate doing the they shoulda, coulda, woulda, but they really did play like they really could have beaten the Cardinals and the Bengals, the 1 seed in both divisions. Like they were a fucked up fumble and a missed field goal against the Cardinals away from being 5-1.
They also could have lost to the Jags though.
They could have lost to the Jags. Yes,
and
I know it's just one of those things. Like if they were 5-1, what would the spread be? That's all. I like to play that game.
So the Cowboys, I don't think have they played a bad game this year. I don't think that they have.
The Chargers game was an ugly game.
Yeah, but that was more on the refs.
Yeah,
that made it ugly.
That was a bad game.
I feel like the Cowboys still haven't played a bad game this year.
Yeah, I also think that they are prime for a little regression because it feels like they just get 3 turnovers every game, mostly because of Trayvon Diggs. But does feel like that's gonna anytime. I mean, a theme, Hank. You remember it? Turnover luck. Mm-hmm. Look, it's not just biased towards the Patriots. It's any team. The worst turnover luck lesson I ever learned was, I think, 2012, I want to say, when the Bears they were like 7-1, and every game they had a pick 6, and then they just sucked because they stopped getting pick 6s.
Kirk Cousins 0-5 versus the Cowboys at home in his career.
Ooh,
fun stat.
Okay, but half of those homes were Washington football team.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Actually, I would say probably more
All
than
of
half
them,
of those.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
FedEx Field, that's a harder place to play to survive.
Yes. All right, your favorite.
My favorite is also, I'm taking the Bengals. I like the Bengals, 11 points. I started thinking to myself, 11, that's a lot of points, but then I reminded myself it's the Jets.
Letdown spot? That's the only thing you can tell yourself.
No, I don't think this team's going to let down.
I'm not saying that.
I think this team's going ham.
The Bengals are in my can't lose parlay, but that's the only, you could find a world where you tell yourself letdown spot.
I'm 50-50 on my confidence in this pick. It's not one that I'm...
Yeah, but 50-50 is pretty good for Hank and a favorite.
That's true.
That means that you're like...
No, it's 50-50. It's either... I'll say this. Bengals are covering or the Jets are winning. It's not going to be in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, my favorite, I'm taking the Colts -1.5. Here's a shocking stat for everyone here. The Titans and Colts have already played this season. I just memory hold that.
Yeah, and that's one of those teams where I think it's like the Chargers and the Raiders, and then the Titans and the Colts. It feels like they play 5 times every year.
Yeah.
Kind of like Portland and Seattle and MLS. I feel like every time I turn on my TV on ESPN2.
Or El Trafico.
It's El Trafico or the fucking Timbers and the Seattle football team.
That's true.
But yeah, I do remember this game. I agree with this pick, though.
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill was gimpy, I want to say, in this game. The first time he was hurt, he was coming off or not Ryan Tannehill, Carson Wentz. I'm joining you, PFT. I'm starting to buy back in on Carson Wentz. I rid myself of him, but I'm starting to buy back in, and it's a scary, scary thing. So if you're keeping score at home, I'm very confident in the Colts this week because I think Carson Wentz is back to being Carson Wentz of 2017, 2018, whatever that was, which means he will undoubtedly throw like 4 horrendous picks right in my face.
Before he gets injured.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you see Jim Irsay? Jim Irsay has his guitar collection going on the road. He's like doing a traveling Smithsonian exhibit.
I did see
where
this.
it's his guitars. And Jim, if you're listening, I know that you're an avid listener of many podcasts. We need to have Jim Irsay on the show.
Come by.
Because I need to talk to him about his true belief that when he takes out an Eric Clapton guitar, that that guitar still has the musical notes inside of it from when Eric Clapton's energy touched it.
Including his hate for immigrants?
Including his hate for immigrants.
Yeah.
And everything that goes along with it, and his parenting skills, everything that goes along. You went there first.
No, I didn't go there. I went with things he says out loud, not that.
But I need to talk to Jim Irsay about his true belief in the spirit of music and how it can stay in instruments. I feel like he'd be a Bill Walton type interview where we ask him one question and then he goes on for like 60 minutes and ends up talking about the time that he cried at Jim Morrison's grave.
It would be great. We should, Jim Irsay, you're welcome to come on. Billy, your favorite?
My favorite is the Bills -14 covering against the Dolphins.
Okay.
I think they're just gonna.
I like that.
Also,
I think they're gonna
Billy's doing his sexy
Shit pump
voice
him.
right now.
Also,
Yeah.
shout out all the Tua fans. You've tagged me in enough pro Tua tweets that it's starting to corrupt my brain. So job well done. I've just been tagged in so many tweets being like, Tua actually is a good quarterback. I'm not there yet, but it's starting to work. I mean, Stockholm syndrome.
Here's how you can tell if you're still like, if you have the ability to buy back in on a quarterback, like the Carson Wentz thing.
Yeah.
If Carson Wentz was traded to your franchise,
Yeah.
the one that you root for tomorrow, would you be optimistic like we can regain some of this? And I would be optimistic about Tua.
Yeah, I think so too.
Against every single fiber of my being, I would doubt my own eyeballs.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, you know what? I remember that game against Georgia. I remember that one pass.
It's just, I mean, I'm sure you've had this happen where if you have a take and everyone, and there's a very fervent little niche audience that disagrees with it, and they start tagging you in everything. Like I've watched Tua's second interception probably 35 times now with people saying it wasn't his fault, and it's working. They are corrupting my brain. So keep it up, and eventually I'll probably just flip it and be like, you know what, Tua's good because you've provided me with enough stats that I can go around and debate anyone about Tua.
I love the guys out there that have the all-22 access, and then they wait till Wednesday, and they show you why everything that you thought earlier in the week was wrong. And they gaslight us. That's what they do.
It's cheating.
When they put the stuff out. Well, it's not always cheating because I still think that I'm right sometimes. And they'll be like, no, this was actually the fault of the wide receiver. And I feel like I'm watching a different play entirely than what they've seen. And they're gaslighting America. We should actually start a Twitter account. I don't know. These guys have enough on. Billy has enough on his plate already.
Yeah, he's got a ton.
To just like put out completely wrong football information after the all-22 comes out.
If you narrate an all-22, you can spin it any which way you want. You'd be like, look, the guard actually was supposed to block here, so it's not the quarterback's fault.
Right, you can be like,
It's like, well, we don't know.
This was supposed to be a curl route that the wide receiver route.
Yeah,
ran,
he stopped his route a yard early.
and that's why Tua overthrew him by 25 yards and got it picked off.
No, that second interception, it wasn't his fault. I've been gaslit to that.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like, we know what we saw. Believe what you saw on
Jalen
Sunday.
Waddle left the spot that Tua was throwing it to.
He abandoned him?
Yes, he abandoned him.
He abandoned
I watched
his
it
route?
so many times. I swear to God, my brain is melting. Fuck you, Tua people, but it's working. All right, Jake, your favorite.
I'm going with the Falcons -3 against the Panthers. I think the Panthers will out-Falcon the Falcons against the Falcons.
Okay.
Well, Sam Darnold is, he's got to be. This has got to be it. Like, if he has another terrible game, I don't know what they do.
Sam Darnold got the vote of confidence from Matt Rule, though, after the last game.
That's the worst thing you can get.
Real quick.
Rex is our quarterback.
We gotta rewind real quick to the Tua stuff. Because Tua was asked if he feels like he's welcome there, and he was like, I don't not feel welcome here.
And
that's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
If you're like, well, they're kind of indifferent to me, so that's good.
Yeah. They kind of just don't even pay attention to me.
That's not a bad spot for an NFL player to be in, honestly.
And the name placard over my locker is Deshaun Watson, but that's probably a mistake.
Yep.
Hank, your underdog.
I'm going to ride till the wheels fall off. They're 0-6, 3-3, covering
Okay.
the Detroit Lions.
Yes.
All right. Are you
Plus 3.5
now? Are
against
you
the Philadelphia Eagles.
Are you a little worried?
No.
Okay.
I'm literally
finish
taking.
this?
I'm taking them until they win.
All right. I was
So-
going to talk about weather. No. It's in dome. Yeah. Are you a little worried that Nick Sirianni has now graduated from looking himself in the mirror to using weird analogies that make you just feel worse about his football team? He said they're emphasizing growth under the soil. Said he's using a picture of a flower to explain to his young players that there's a process going on, even in tough times. Everyone in the building is fertilizer and water to make the roots blossom into a flower. Actually, now that I've read that out loud,
Where did this guy come from?
No one knows. I think he probably showed up.
That's a great question.
He spent like 6 months probably coaching high school football in Ohio, and like
went to a Mac school.
Yeah, Joe Gettleman saw him and was like, you know what, I want to hire this guy.
Frank Reich had him hold a headset for a year with the Colts. I actually am on your side now because Dan Campbell's going up literally against a flower.
Yeah, and he's
That's
gonna be like, he'll eat it.
Yeah.
He'll just walk up and be
He'll
like, see
stomp
this
it.
flower?
No, Dan Campbell he does not eat plants. That's
True.
the thing.
He
No,
will
but like
poison it like Harvey Updike.
If someone said this flower is Nick Sirianni, he would walk up to it and like pull it out of the ground and then just
Yes.
bite it off.
Yeah.
Now, what about this quote from Nick Sirianni? He said, the Eagles are going to be doubling down on dog mentality. So they're going dog mentality.
Wait, are they a dog or a flower?
We don't know.
PJ Tucker.
There's mixed messaging coming out of Nick Sirianni's brain right now.
They're also, the Eagles are in a tough spot because talking about like the All-22 and being gaslit, I have noticed that multiple people have said that the Eagles defense is the most bland defense in the NFL and one of the most bland defenses they've ever seen.
Well, they're doubling down on it.
So seeing that like tweeted from different people over and over, I'm just going to say that's a fact. I'm going to start telling people.
It might be the truth. Yeah. So it also matters what type of dog that they're trying to double down on being of the mental state of.
Aren't there flowers that are
poisonous?
That can kill a dog?
Yeah.
Dog flowers.
Dog flowers is what?
Dogwood.
Dogwood flowers.
Dogwood flowers.
It's probably because of Jared, but I'm so invested in this Lions team. And
They gotta get a
Dan
win.
Campbell. It's like I'm rooting for them harder than everyone except the Patriots.
I think
every week.
This is the week that it happens because you have.
If it's not, everyone's saying that though. If it's not, it's going to be actually demoralizing.
Here's what I've done with this game because I agree with you, Hank. I think the Lions are going to win it outright.
Are we just going in together?
Yes,
Let's go.
Is your pick too?
Yes, I'm pretending that.
And yours.
It's my pick.
Okay. I'm pretending, and Jake's.
And Jake's.
Wow,
No.
now we're fucked.
Oh no.
Don't.
I'm not doing it. I'm not.
No, 3 of us were on Detroit plus 15 last week.
Okay, so
had a big start.
I'm going Detroit money line.
Suck it.
And here's why: I am pretending that the players do not exist in this game. I don't care who's on the roster for the Eagles or the Lions. I'm strictly viewing this game as a matchup between Dan Campbell and Nick Sirianni, and I feel like Dan Campbell just takes a shit all over Nick Sirianni's brain.
Yes.
So it's a very stupid way to approach betting on this game, but that's how I'm looking at it, and I'm feeling dangerously confident.
Here's my one prediction for this game, and if I had to bet it, I would definitely be on the Lions. But this game will be the fuck shit game in the fourth quarter of witching hour because you have two teams that like suck. But they also they always play well at the end of games. The Lions never give up. The Eagles are the greatest, make the game look closer than it actually is team. I feel like this will be the game that switches leads 4 times in the witching hour.
Yeah, and between the two coaches, Nick Sirianni tries to do stuff like Dan Campbell. He tries to take Dan Campbell and use that as his costume. Like
right.
Nick Sirianni goes as Dan Campbell for Halloween.
He looks in the mirror and sees Dan Campbell.
But he doesn't know when to be Dan Campbell and when not to be. So he just kind of like randomly decides, okay, we're going to go for this 4th down.
Right.
Okay, we're going to randomly be aggressive here. Dan Campbell drives with his foot firmly planted on the gas pedal.
Yes.
All the time blasting the Black Album.
Yes. Liam, you're underdog.
I'm taking Washington plus 3.
I like it.
You.
I like it a lot.
'Cause I don't.
No,
but
I
I'm
do.
really bad at picking.
I
so
do.
I hate
took
it.
it because I hate it.
I think all the Washington football team has to do is just try to figure out a way to score on their drives instead of getting to the 20 and having Taylor Heineke do something stupid.
Well, that's kind of a problem of Taylor Heineke.
But
so
here's all I'll say. If you have a team that you can point to one problem and be like, fix that and you're good, I like that.
have you watched the football team?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to point to like 7 problems
No, that's
right now.
the problem.
I still have my straw, by the way. I've got my last straw. People are telling me.
Where's mine?
I offered it to you last week. You didn't take it. Oh, wait. Here it is.
Oh, perfect. I have my straw as well.
Okay. We're on our last straws with the Washington football team.
You know what? I'm more of a WFT team fan than you. I'm not even taking off the paper in my last straw. So I can take off the paper and then give away my last straw. So I have 2.
That's not, I don't think you're a bigger fan. I think that you haven't been hurt over the years. You don't understand what that straw means.
I'm keeping it in the wrapper so that I have 2 last moves.
So we talked to Florio a little bit about it, but then things have developed since the owners' meeting when Mark Davis, of all people, is standing on the table with his little backpack. He looks adorbs.
Love them.
And he's saying that he is personally requesting that they release all the emails from the Washington football team investigation. If this is the case, if Mark Davis accomplishes this, I will get a Mark Davis tattoo.
Ooh.
I will do it. This is how much it means, because here's why. If Dan Snyder actually takes the fall for all his bullshit that he's done, my straw worries are over.
Yeah.
Right now, people are like, oh, wait, Dan Snyder's done all this bullshit. Yeah, I know he has, and I hope he gets caught for it. That's not going to make me get rid of the straw, because then we could be in a potential situation where he has to sell the team, in which case I'll have an infinite quantity of straws.
Yes.
And so it's truly a Schrodinger straw situation where I'm having 0 straws and plenty of straws at the same time. I just hope that Mark Davis is able to come through for me, because I have more faith in Mark Davis accomplishing something than I do in Congress doing it.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
Him and his little backpack. I also think they might just poison him at a PF Chang's, and that'll be it.
I don't know. I don't think you
take
can
him out.
poison that man. I feel like he's got guts of steel. You know what he reminds me of? This is our Succession discussion for the week. He's like if Greg and Shiv were one character in Succession.
Okay, what do you say?
Nick Sirianni reminds me of the speech from the most recent episode when he was telling his siblings what the company's going to be.
Yes.
Making shit up.
Yes, the buzzword speech.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kendall
Roy's. He's quite something. Also, speaking of Dan Snyder, I just want to give a shout out. I always appreciate anyone who decides, like, hey, the whole world is thinking this way. Let me go the opposite. Doug Gottlieb said, Dan Snyder had to change the football name. He had to get rid of his entire front office. He also, by the way, fired his coach. He had to step down and put his wife in charge, and they paid $10 million. I don't know how many pounds of flesh you need.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you for standing up for Dan Snyder.
He's the real victim here. He's already given you enough.
Like, ask anybody that cares about the Washington football team at all if we think, you know what? Actually, I might spin myself on this and be like, you know what the real problem is now with the football team? Tanya Snyder has too much control.
Yeah.
I want Dan to come back.
Yes. It was just
all the stuff that she's doing with her day-to-day operation. She's very, very in the know about everything.
Incredible zag by Doug Gottlieb when you needed it the most. All right, my underdog. I'm taking the Saints plus 5.5. I think this game's gonna be close. The Bucks beat the Saints obviously in the playoffs, but the Saints beat the Bucks. They beat them to like a drum in the regular season last year. I just think the Saints defense will keep it close. Also, I looked it up. Saints are 7-1 straight up. And 7-1 as an underdog against the spread in the last 3 years. I like the spot. 5.5 feels like it's going to be a tight game.
I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. When is Michael Thomas coming back? Because I
knows?
just reminded myself that he was on the Saints on Monday.
Who knows? It's a good question. Yeah.
People call him Slant Man.
Slant
I
Man.
like that. Slant Man and Blitz Boy.
That's good. Okay, we'll do our totals in a second. We're brought to you by our friends at New Amsterdam Vodka. New Amsterdam Vodka is the official vodka of Barstool Sports. New Amsterdam Vodka was born from an uncompromising passion for great vodka. This commitment to excellence enabled New Amsterdam to produce vodka of superb taste and unparalleled smoothness. New Amsterdam is a premium 80-proof vodka made from some of the finest quality grains from America's heartland. It's 5 times distilled for unparalleled smoothness and filtered 3 times for a clean, crisp finish. New Amsterdam vodka is slightly sweet on the palate, smooth enough to drink on the rocks, and mixes well with juice and soda. Or you can make a new classic New Amsterdam Mule. New Amsterdam Vodka is the official vodka of Barstool Sports. New Amsterdam Vodka is the official vodka of Barstool Sports. All right, over. Hank. No, they have the Lions. Jake and Billy have the Lions.
I'm going to take the over in that Bucks Saints game.
Oh.
I have that as well.
I have that as well.
Oh.
I feel like if the Saints win this game, they're going to have to really muck it up.
Yeah, the Saints are going to have to win this game like 21-17.
A lot of deflections.
Mm-hmm. Are you sticking with it?
Yeah. Were you trying to talk me off another winner?
Nope.
Why don't you maybe think about doing an alternate?
I'm
so
done
confident.
giving alternate bets.
What do you mean?
Oh, no, Billy, you have
You
one.
literally just gave one to Billy.
Yeah, I know, and that was my last one. Billy, you get to pick your alternate bet, your total this week. Okay.
Over 65?
Of that game?
Yeah.
All right, if it goes over 65, I'll give you some shoes. God damn it. All right, PFT, you're over.
My over Steelers Browns.
Ooh.
42.
That's my under.
Mike Tomlin's not fucking leaving. Never say never, but never.
Never.
So he's got the boys rallying to him. Ben Roethlisberger went on the TV show that Ben Roethlisberger shows up to every week and was talking about just how bad his hip is and how bad it's affecting his throwing motion. That to me tells me everything's right with Ben Roethlisberger.
Yep.
He's going to come out. He's going to do great. I don't know if it's going to be Baker or if it's going to be Case, but I don't think that there's that much of a difference because Case Keenum, I was thinking about the game that he had last Thursday. Case Keenum played about exactly perfectly for what you envision a backup to do. Mm-hmm. He was like making all the easy throws.
He's a good backup.
He wasn't, when he has zero expectations, Case Keenum is an excellent player.
He's a very good backup.
So Baker, it doesn't really matter to me. I feel like both teams are going to score some points. I was watching some EPL yesterday and got really into the whole expected goals stat.
Uh-huh.
Have you ever checked that out?
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite because you talk about something that's just made up on the spot. It's like, to me, the expected score of this game is 28-17.
Ooh, 28. So in your expected score, it'd still be pretty close.
Yeah, my expected score has the over though.
Okay, all right.
It's a realistic over.
Yeah.
Because
Maybe give yourself 28-24 if you're going to take it.
Well, I don't want to lie to our audience and be like, my expected score in this game is 35-20.
Yeah.
Because that's just not true. The expected score in this game is 28-17.
28-17. That is my under of the week, so we're opposite on that. My over is going to be Titans-Colts over 51. Both of these pass defenses suck. So I think fireworks. Billy.
My over is the Bears 49ers 39.5.
Yeah, no, I looked at it. Because that's one of those games, 39.5 is a number where you're like, if I just get two weird plays to happen, I might be in business.
Yeah, I'm going
curious.
for 4 now.
Oh, you're already conceding the first 3 wins? I'd be curious to know if there's any advanced statisticians, the over-under record when 2 rookie quarterbacks. Oh, is Jimmy G playing?
I think Jimmy G's playing.
Fucking
Matt Nagy's not. I do not think Matt Nagy will clear COVID protocol in time, so... Maybe it would be it'd be so incredible if the Bears dropped 60 on the 49ers out of nowhere because Matt Nagy wasn't around to put his stink on the team.
I personally, I don't know how you feel about the situation, Big Cat, but I think that Matt Nagy should take his time.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to put things into perspective.
Mm-hmm. As a COVID survivor, I hope he gets better.
We were talking about that earlier. Like some things are truly, truly bigger than sports, and a full recovery, spending time with your family, these are the moments that you can't get back.
I did Google whether you can fire someone who has COVID, and you can't. So we'll have to wait.
Matt Nagy's going to be a long hauler then.
Yeah, Jesus. All right, over in that game. Okay, that game, I'm thank God that game's at 1 o'clock, and it can just waste away somewhere out of everyone's mind. I'm predicting that game's going to be the one that Red Zone forgot.
I hope so.
Yes, I hope so too. I'm as low as possible.
In advance, can we not have the sound on that game?
Yeah, we don't have to have the sound on that game. All right, Jake. No.
Also New Orleans, Tampa.
That's right. Hank.
Also under in Browns Steelers.
Okay, let's go, Hank. Liam.
I have under 49 in New England, LA Chargers.
Ooh. How are you feeling about this game, Hank?
I'm nervous. This is close. This is either Super Bowl 7's on or tank.
That's all it takes.
I really don't know.
If you win this game, it's like we're back.
Well, if we win this game, we're basically undefeated.
The Patriots are the weirdest team because they have the best losses in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have the best losses in the league. 2-point loss to the Bucks and an overtime loss to the Cowboys. They also their 3 wins are the Jets and the Texans.
You play who you play, Big Cat.
I understand.
What do you want the Patriots to do?
I'm saying.
What do you want them to do?
They have incredible losses. Like you can look. The Patriots.
They go out there and line up against the other team.
The Patriots are a true glass half full, glass half empty team, where it's just whatever angle you're looking at them, you can sell yourself on what they are. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
You can really look at it and be like, they're right there, and then you can also remind yourself they've already played the Jets twice.
This game will shape the rest of my season.
We need to look
I'm either going to be aggressively, aggressive that they're going to win and
bringing
make
the
playoffs.
vest back out.
No, it's playoff only. Come on.
Okay.
Come on. Big Cat.
We need to do some research on Bill Belichick versus rookie head coaches.
Ooh.
And see if it lines up with Bill Belichick versus rookie quarterbacks.
Patriots, Saints, Lions. I think that's going to be the hungry dog.
I like it. I actually like it a lot.
Do you feel concerned tossing the Patriots into your hungry dog parlay all the time?
I think it's the first time.
Is it? You've just been betting a lot on Boston sports teams recently.
Well, yeah.
I noticed that, yeah. I just don't want your
think?
personal bias to cloud
You
the
think?
hungry dog parlay.
I like that hungry dog parlay, Hank.
The Patriots are hungry as fuck this weekend.
They are hungry. All right,
Unbiased opinion.
you're under PFT.
My under is going to be Jags Seahawks, 43.5.
Also a game that I think we're going to kind of low-key forget happens.
Yes, this is going to be a stinker of a game. It's a Jason Myers revenge game. The
Yes.
kicker for the Seahawks.
Huge.
Jason Myers, I was reminded of a hilarious quote that he had last year when he missed a couple field goals in the game. And a reporter was like, what does it feel like to miss kicks? And he goes, it feels great, dude. It's fucking awesome, man. I love that. I love that shit. So this is also going to be like DK is going to be hungry this weekend. He's had a rough week.
He has.
He got dragged through the mud.
He did.
Through no fault of his own. Like a man can't even have a foursome in America anymore without the PC media crawling up his butthole about it.
Did your ears perk up when you found out there was no security at his house?
No, why? No, why?
I don't know, in case you want to like take him out or something.
I don't want to ever take DK out. DK and I have a friendly rivalry, Hank. And I think it's times like these where I will stand up for another man's right to have sex with 3 women.
I
If
couldn't
he so
even finish. The
chooses.
video was so long. She
It
was
was
just
so long.
she was just fucking
Fucking
get to the point.
Braveheart.
Yeah, get to the point.
Well,
Post a screenshot.
First of all, allegedly he had sex with 3 women at once. I don't even want to say that it's true.
I mean, he pretty much tweeted that it was true.
whatever. He's 23, single.
Exactly. I don't understand the mentality of the woman that put him on blast being like, I can't believe this NFL player didn't make me sign an NDA before he fucked me and my 2 friends.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, that's where we're at now? Billy's very confused.
I don't think it actually happened.
No, it didn't.
It didn't.
They never actually did it.
Oh, they didn't have sex.
No, she said that she was basically driving to his house. He said, it's too late. Go home. Then, like a half hour later, he hit her up and been like, actually, I'm at the bar. I'm trying to have a foursome. Why don't you come back? I got 2 other girls.
Okay, so
and she was like, fuck that. I'm not going.
all right, at the very least, sounds like he had a threesome.
Possibly.
Good for him.
Possible threesome. Yes.
Memes was reminding me earlier about Le'Veon Bell had a threesome one time, and then he called the cops right afterwards, and he had to file a police report being like, hey, these 2 girls that I slept with stole $500,000 worth of jewelry.
Yes,
So DK
they
dodged
love
a
me
bullet.
for me. Yeah, this game's gonna be weird. We really need the Patriots, Chargers, and the Bucs Saints to be good because the other afternoon games have chances of being stinkers. Billy, you're under.
My under is the Cowboys Vikings at 54.5.
Okay, are you taking an alternate under?
Not
For
yet.
shoes.
I didn't like this week's slate for the ultimate.
Okay, you can wait. That's fine. And then Jake.
Also with PFT, Jags Seahawks under 44.
Okay.
All right. Any games?
Wait, you got 44?
I'm on the sports book right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was 43.5.
All right, so take 44. I think the only game we missed is Rams Texans, and I don't care. I mean, that's okay. Is Tyrod going to play?
I don't think anybody's going to play.
Right,
I think the
so-
Texans might just not show up.
They
for
Brandon
this
Cooks
game.
feel bad for him this week.
Yeah, they
Did you
should
see that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They should just start doing like a running clock when they show up off the bus.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we expected from the Texans, though, that before the trade deadline, they are just going to try to trade away as many of their players as possible for like 5th-round picks.
Yeah. This is where Tim Tebow should be playing quarterback.
Give us
like
something
if
to
you
watch.
want to have Tim Tebow have fun, put him on the Texans.
They
And
should
have him just fucking ball out.
They should sign all the old quarterbacks that we still feel excited to watch, like Tim Tebow, Johnny Manziel. I would watch. RG3. I would
Cuddy, Kyle
Cuddy,
Orton.
Kyle Orton.
Yep.
Kaepernick. Get Kaepernick in the mix.
Get
People
them all
tune in for
there.
that.
Yeah, have them run just all quarterback offense.
Yes.
Everyone can handle the ball.
If you're not going to be good, at least be fun.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. The only other stat I had was the Bears have 871 net passing yards this year. We're in week 8.
That's almost a mile.
That's so bad.
Like if you
That's so bad.
if you think of it just in terms of distance, it sounds not bad.
That's does Army might have more.
Yeah, I think they probably do.
Yeah,
But
because they played that crazy game last week.
my absolute favorite is when Army just decides to pass the ball. They must have
cheating.
they must have the highest percentage though of attempted passes to interceptions.
Yeah, it's cheating when they pass. So when they pass on non-passing downs, it's cheating.
Yes.
That's so fucked up when they do that because like it's almost like a gentleman's rule that like, hey, we're not going to pass unless it's 4th and very very long. What were you going to say, Jake?
I have 2 half-point differences in 2 of your picks.
Okay.
New Orleans 5 instead of 5.5.
Got it.
But you benefit 50.5 instead of 51. Tennessee.
Boom, put them in. Love it. Thank you, Jake, keeping us honest. Anything else for? I'm excited for week 8. I think we're gonna have a good week, boys.
We're due.
I think this podcast's gonna have a good week. I think we're gonna have a good week. I just feel it in the air. And then again, anyone who listens to this on Monday, you're a pervert because you're basically listening for us to get like face fucked and be wrong about everything.
I'm still getting messages from people who are like, "Hey, I'm listening to last Friday's episode right now on a Thursday."
Yeah.
On the following Thursday.
Let them stop podcast shaming.
No.
They're the sickos me.
That got confused because there are people who, whatever life may come up, you might not listen right away. I'm talking about
3 episodes a week is kind of a lot.
It's a lot.
Stay on
What
top.
I'm
Shout
talking
out to the people that do.
I'm only talking to the people who intentionally go back and try to listen to our terrible takes and terrible picks so that they can laugh about how wrong we are about everything. They're the perverts. You know who you are. You're a pervert.
Memes text me earlier, said tomorrow's our 500th episode, and then I asked, and it's our 867th.
Okay.
Everyone keeps hitting us up about our 500th episode.
Yeah, we did our 500 when we first moved into this room.
Yeah.
367 episodes.
And every day, someone's like, "Hey, next week's the 500th episode."
It's because I found out. It's because Apple Podcasts only backlogs 500.
Oh, so every episode.
Every episode's our 500.
It's like Ryan Lochte's
That's
dog.
so sick.
Turning 8 every year.
That's so sick.
Big Cat, do you have a parlay that can't lose?
I do. It's the Bengals.
Okay.
It's the
Just to win.
Just to win. It's the Bills. It's the Rams. All to just win.
Oh.
And then the Steelers plus 7.5. No. 7.5. And then over 48.5 on Sunday Night Football. Thoughts?
It just
I would
sounds
say
like a lot
every
of
one of
different
those, but
numbers
the
that I have
Steelers
to
can't
keep track
lose.
of in my brain.
Well, there's only 3. It's 4 things at 1 o'clock and then a late night thing. I left you a snack.
Yeah.
It's just something at the end that I left you.
The snack always concerns me, though.
But the snack is
No,
the
it's
best
fun.
part
Yeah,
because
you can hedge,
you
yeah.
can hedge if you want to. But gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Pigskin parlay if you want to gamble for free. Up to $40,000 the jackpot.
There we go.
Playbarstool.com.
Okay, let's do Fantasy Fathers and let's get to our awesome interviews. We have Meta World Sandiford, also known as Ron Artest, also known as Meta World Peace, and Usain Bolt. Fantasy Fathers.
Hello.
Hey.
I don't know a father voice. My name is Anderson Swishwaffle.
Hello, Mr. Swishwaffle.
My stardom is fresh lumber.
Oh, well, it's
was
a
my
real
sleeper.
treat to smell.
Some people like to, use heat from a home and oil and waste all that money. I prefer to go into my backyard and chop down a fresh redwood, put it into a bunch of different
You
pieces,
chop down a redwood on your own. Now that's wild stuff. I typically just buy a cord from the neighbor.
heat my house for the whole summer and winter. Where I sit 'em on my notes pad is blank. I don't know what happened to my notes,
Yeah, I'm getting forgetful in my old age too.
so my situm is me. I'm going to sit myself.
Have a nice sit.
I'm too young to be a father.
Sit down.
It's just nice to.
I've
hit
made
the
a
lazy
great
boy.
mistake.
Recliner.
Wear condoms, kids. You don't want to be like me one day.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that one.
My sleeper is oranges.
Yeah?
Aren't you glad I didn't say banana?
Ah,
That's
Nailed
funny.
it.
That's a real rib tickler.
Nailed
Anderson.
it.
Thank you. Hey guys.
I had a good sleeper too. I'll think of it.
Okay.
all right.
Yeah, just whenever you feel like it, just jump on in. Hi, I'm LeVar Ball. It's a real pleasure to be back on here. My stardom is calendars. It's daylight savings time.
It is.
I'm actually afraid for the calendars. Its days are numbered. Little dad joke. My situm is I'm sitting exercise. I've worked out. I went for a nice walk at the mall this morning. So my wife said I should do lunges to stay in shape. That would be a big step forward.
Dad bod 2021.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then my sleeper, I'm going to sleep on Case Keenum because I think that the guy's he's swell. You put a pair of Air Monarchs and a football helmet, just reasonable and comfortably priced.
All right, what's up? It's Big Cat. My stardom is Halloween. I'm very excited for Halloween with my kids.
What do we got?
We're doing a Halloween party on Friday night. Yeah.
You dressing up?
Probably not.
Come on.
I forgot till right this second to buy
Freddie
myself.
Mercury.
Yeah, easy last second adjustment there.
No, my son's going to be a construction worker because we live around a lot of construction. And also I have an Ultimate Warrior costume that I might have him wear to school on Friday.
It's blue collar.
Yeah. My situm is cold weather because having to bundle up kids sucks.
So agreed.
It's a shitty like transition where it's like, oh, we're going out. We got to get the coat. We got to get the sweatshirt. We got to do everything like that.
If they fall though, they got padding.
That's true. If they fall, they got padding.
I had an idea like a year ago about this different type of jumpsuit that you could invent for children where everything just zips up. So it's like one outfit, and then you can unzip the gloves off it. You could unzip the shirt to make it a 3/4 length. You could unzip a t-shirt. You can unzip it to make it a wife beater. You can unzip the top from the bottom until the shorts. It's just like one outfit for everything.
Zippers everywhere.
Yeah.
And then my sleeper is Cars 3. I'm starting to think Cars 3 might be better than Cars 1. Cars 2 is trash.
I haven't seen any of the cars, truthfully.
They're great.
Yeah.
I could just tell you all about them.
You'd get too horned up, probably.
Yeah, probably.
I could tell you all about them. I've watched way too many Cars.
Slap me silly, boys.
Oh.
How are ya?
Hey, what's up there?
Hey, Will.
How's it hanging, guys?
Hey.
Low and lazy.
Hey, great to see you.
Sucking the day's dick.
Here I am. I'm Mr. Dad Man, and my stardom is stretching. Always got to get a good stretch in before you do anything, because, you know, when you get old, you know, muscles are a lot easier to stretch.
It's going down. I'm
The
yelling
wrong way.
limber.
It's not like when we were kids.
Not at all. My sit-em is Jamar Chase, because I think we got to spread the ball out. I think he's not going to get as much as he did last week, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
My sleeper is the electric bill. It's getting cold.
Close
Heat's
the
gonna
door.
go up.
Yeah.
Keep the door closed.
Yeah,
The electric
But hey.
bill. Get it?
Yeah.
Man up, Bill. Get a nice axe.
Yeah.
Sharpen her up.
He is an electric
Start
bill.
chopping some
This
lumber.
guy talking right here.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
the
Billy.
leaves. We got to rake the leaves.
Yeah.
The leaves, they got to get raked.
Billy, how do you
I feel
follow?
assaulted by this segment.
How do you follow?
Yeah, you're
Will-
getting
Hey, but the joy of being a dad, you know, is actually
is
my,
joyful.
My new stardom is actually having kids. It really changes your
There
life.
it is.
It's a really life-altering experience.
Billy,
It is.
if
I'm ready
April-
for one more, but then no more. None after that. I feel like parents always do that.
And then
I
another,
might have one or two more, then nothing.
the
Then
more
we can't do
kids you
four.
have, the better.
That's not always the truth,
Why not?
because sometimes the
John and
every
Kate
little-
plus 8,
the
that
youngest
was
bundle
kid.
of joy.
I kind of went sideways.
look
on
at the
that.
Huckabees.
Antonio
Yeah.
Cromartie.
Yeah.
Or no, the Duggars. Duggars had a couple real stinkers.
John and Kate plus 8. What a
How many
not
are
the
left?
kids, the parents, freak shows. How many? No, I think they have them all still, but it went sideways when they had fucking.
It's like John plus
10
4 and Kate plus 4.
Well, no,
Yeah.
'cause John decided that he was going to be like a full-time club guy.
Well, and also Kate, I'm pretty sure, started dating the security guard. Got messy.
Kate was the originator of the Karen haircut, I think.
Yes, it got messy between them. Turns out putting your entire life on reality television might not be the best for your relationship.
Just a fact.
Who
or
would've thought that?
Or,
Who
I mean,
would've thought
in
that?
the case of Messica, it might be the best.
Yeah, could be the best. Could be the best. Stunner when that happens. How many marriages is Kim Kardashian on?
Well, I mean, she's doing okay now, right?
Yeah,
Her and Kai. Wait, are they divorced?
I think so.
But they're talking and stuff.
Oh.
There's rumors.
All right, so we're back.
They're working together on SNL.
We're all the way back.
I feel like you never truly get divorced from Kanye. His brain will always be around you.
Yeah, his presence.
It's also different when you have kids.
That's true. As a father,
Not
you
as
know
messy,
that.
yeah.
Yes. All right. Good?
See you later, alligator.
Oh,
wow,
good
I
stuff.
crocodile.
think we stopped the music like 10, 25, 30
We just
minutes.
were
Well, we don't
talking.
play
Yeah.
the music, so how am I supposed to know?
Yeah, Billy.
Billy,
Oh,
we play the
shit.
music. God damn it. You just showed everyone how the show works. All right, let's get to our interview. We got awesome interview with Meta World Peace and awesome interview with Usain Bolt. We taped Usain Bolt a couple weeks ago, so I think there was a moment where I brought up that he's a Packers fan. So there we go. Everyone gets to be a pervert in real life. What?
Also, the audio is not great on it.
Audio's not
Just
great.
a
That
heads
was
up.
he was on a weird computer. But yeah, you get to be a pervert by the fact that I think I said the Bears are going to beat the Packers. So that's fun.
Before we get to our good friend, Meta World Peace. Wait, what's his
Meta
official
World
name?
Sandifer.
Meta World Sandifer. And trust me, it's a good
Oh,
interview.
that's what it
You're
was.
going to want to listen to this one.
My sit-in was Meta.
Damn. Okay.
Okay, but before we get there,
Why?
Because that's Facebook's new name. Oh. And as a father, so I was going to be like, my sit-in is Meta. What's going to happen to my Facebook page?
Damn.
well, listen, as long as
We'll cut
I
that
can
in.
still catch up with all my friends from high school who are still involved in pyramid schemes and get tagged in pictures of people from like Yemen selling Yeezys, I'm all in on Facebook no matter what. That's a great. And the Minions memes are worth the price of admission alone. Before we get to our good friend Meta World Sandiford, I want to talk to you about our great friends over at Shady Rays. I love Shady Rays. Since the beginning of the year, we've been creating something epic behind the scenes with our friends at Shady Rays. We're excited to announce the all-new Part of My Take limited edition Venturas. They're now available. In 2020, we launched our first ever collaboration with Shady Rays. This year, they're coming back with a brand new look. We worked hand in hand with the people over at Shady Rays to help us design these frames and these lenses. It's the first ever matte gray acetate frame. It's ultra premium. It's got a badass look with inset metal Shady Rays logo on the outside and signature Part of My Take logos on the inside. You got two options to choose from. The Ventura, which is the black smoke featuring the ultra premium black lenses, and the Ventura infrared smoke with mirrored red lenses. Both say grit etched into the lenses. They're perfect. They're great sunglasses, and they come with that best warranty in the entire business. But if you want them, you have to act fast. The ones we made last year sold out super, super quick. I think these are limited 2,500 pairs, so act now. They won't last beyond the fall season. If you haven't gotten yours yet, get them now before they sell out. They're 100% worth the price. Go to shadyrays.com/PMT. Get your pair. shadyrays.com/PMT.
Okay, we now welcome on a very, very special guest. You may know him as Ron Artest or Meta World Peace. He goes by Meta Sandiford Artest now, and he has a new show out called Metaphorically Speaking. It is talking to actors and entrepreneurs and athletes, talking about their craft. Meta, thank you for joining us. We're very excited. So let's start with the show. What made you decide to jump into the content game and get involved in this type of show?
Yeah, we had Metaphorically Speaking in 2014. We did about, I guess, like 4 shows. But after we recorded the shows, we didn't know what to do with it. So we just kind of sat on it. And then some people came back up to me and said, "Hey, you should do a podcast." And I said, "Oh, I got a show called Metaphorically Speaking that we never did nothing with." So it was really easy, an easy name. We already had like some content. I always enjoy talking on podcast type formats, but now we get a chance to really, to really get it going. We're only doing like 10 episodes though.
It is definitely one of those names that, like the show name, you kind of have to do the show. It writes itself.
Yeah, it does.
So who's your dream guest for Metaphorically Speaking? Who do you really want to talk to?
Dream guest, I probably would say there's so many interesting people, but if I go back to when I really was, when I idolized people as a younger adult or even an older teen, it would be Halle Berry, Will Smith, Tom Hanks, Demi Moore, Mike Tyson. I did Mike Tyson already. But I remember as a kid growing up and, those being my favorite, entertainers, actors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be cool.
I'd also like to talk to Halle Berry, for the record. I agree with you.
I agree with myself too.
So you've been in the news recently too because you had the Netflix Untold Story Mouse the Palace come out. What has been the response from that? Because I would imagine after watching it, like, have people come up to you and been like, "Hey man, I'm sorry that it was spun in a certain way, or it was obviously an unfortunate event, but it's crazy to now finally get the full truth from everyone's perspective who was involved."
Yeah, it was interesting because when it happened, I pretty much, took it on the chin, and I just said, you know what? If I'm not gonna be able to play, I'm just gonna move on with my life, and that's it. But I for sure wasn't going to, be. I didn't want to beat myself up, for something that I didn't do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, something that I didn't start.
Right.
So I just moved on and I didn't really care what anybody thought about it, I didn't care what anybody thought about me. But then years later, you see the full story. I was okay with taking the blame or playing my part and taking the blame for my part, but I wasn't okay with taking the full blame. I wasn't okay with that.
Yeah. It's also, it's kind of crazy in today's, like, we've seen some incidents in especially the NBA. There was, someone throwing popcorn, someone spitting. Someone yelling at, I think, who they yell at last year.
Westbrook got yelled
Yeah,
at.
Westbrook. And the response is very different now. It's like the fans have no right to do this. You got to protect the players. And again, like obviously the players had a part in the malice at the palace, but the fans were fucking unruly and crazy as well.
I mean, it started with a fan. Like people could say Ben Wallace started it. Ben Wallace had nothing to do with the malice in the palace. You know what I'm saying? Ben Wallace that happens all the time where a player fights a player. The fans started the malice in the palace. And you know what? I'm okay with taking the blame because, everybody made a ton of money since then. The league, if you look at since then, and they say it's a black eye, it's not the black eye. The real black eye, honestly, is like when they didn't let black people play in the NBA. Like, that's a black eye. You can't say I was like a black eye when I didn't even start. Your best argument is the year before that when I led the league in flagrant to technical fouls. Like, that's okay. I'll take that part, and I'll also take doing wild stuff and being detrimental to my team. Yeah, that's stuff that I did, but the malice in the palace, it just doesn't make sense to me that they, that they say I started that. Then, the next day I lose all my deals, and I was a higher level player. I don't get the same contracts as people as my skill level is getting. I couldn't even get another corporate deal. So I had to come up with my own corporations, just to be involved in corporate America. This is like ridiculous. I had to build 2 C Corps just to be involved in corporate America, with the exception of a few other companies that I'm working with. And, it was hard because typically athletes, they play well and they get deals. And that wasn't the case over here.
Yeah.
So after you were suspended for that year, did you find it difficult to maintain a regimen of, okay, I have to go to the gym at this time to work out, I have to work on this part of my game? Because you go from being in a very structured environment on an NBA team to having absolutely no structure whatsoever while you still have, potentially 10 more years of future earnings after you get back into the NBA that you have to get yourself in shape for. Like, what was that like, making that adaptation?
Well, it was interesting because right when I got suspended, I was in tip-top shape. I was averaging, 24.5 points. And then when I got suspended, I was in the gym. I was in the best shape of my life. So I stayed in the gym, I'm going to say maybe for about two months. And then when I kind of sensed that I wasn't coming back, I took a 2-week break and I kept working out. And then when I got the word that I'm not coming back at all, then it was really heartbreaking because that year, my brother LeBron, the year prior to that, I was in the All-Star game. So then that next year, it was somebody was going to be starting in the All-Star game, and I was going to have a say in that, because I was playing so well. So a lot of legacy was on the line, but it's okay. Like I said, it's okay. It happened to me, and I'm very happy with me. It was unfortunate, but it's okay.
You mentioned LeBron. I had a couple of stories I wanted to ask you about LeBron because you had one story where you 15-year-old LeBron, is this right? Was cooking you that you had to
I ain't gonna say he was cooking me.
Oh, okay. So someone else said that. Someone else said that. He was cooking you, or maybe cooking other NBA dudes. And you had to knock his ass to the ground. Is that true?
Well, one time LeBron was a young kid. Because LeBron is 36. I'm 41, right? So I was 19 and he was 15. And he just was coming into this gym where Jordan was playing and a lot of other players were playing, and he was playing very well. He was he was ready for the NBA at that point in time. And I was just like, wow. So he was doing amazing stuff, dunking and rebounding, all types of amazing stuff. So he was coming at me full speed one time. And this was probably when he was he might have been 235 at this time, maybe 225, but real strong. And I just kind of put a little forearm in his chest as he was coming to the basket. And the ref called a foul. You shoot free throws in the summertime back then. So he shot free throws. He got fouled. But I was really impressed with him back then. And this is him right now.
Yeah, no,
This is him now.
it's crazy reading. I saw another story that you played in a pickup game with MJ, Antoine Walker, Penny Hardaway, Paul Pierce, and a high school LeBron, which is like, that's, if you're a fan of basketball, to be able to like visualize that must be incredible. It must have been an awesome game.
Well, I was in awe because Michael Jordan was playing and LeBron was coming up, but then you had Stackhouse and Walker. Barkley played one game. I played with Barkley one time. It was kind of funny actually. It was the end of his career. But it was a ton of, it was Michael Finley who played a couple times, and then some other people would come every now and then and play. But it was intense. It was really, really intense. And MJ, he's bringing it all the time. And I didn't know we was allowed, but then MJ told me to come back. MJ said, "You coming back, right?" So that was a lot of respect because, I was 246 coming into the league. That's not typical, for an athlete to be that ready coming in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
So you played ball at in New York City. You played at St. John's, and I'm always curious why New York City doesn't have as good of college basketball teams as you might expect it to have, given the amount of talent that comes out of New York City. Have you ever thought about that, or what was it that made you decide to go to St. John's?
Well, I fight for the city. I'm from New York, and the only reason I chose St. John's is because St. John's is the number one, college university in New York City, right? And I love fighting for the city. And I wanted to bring a title there. I mean, we got to the Elite Eight. Before I got there, I think we had a 13 or 15-year drought from the tournament. So when I'm thinking about that, if you're a New Yorker, you're prideful, right? So we get to the tournament. We should have won against Detroit Mercy, but we didn't. And then the next year we lose against Ohio State by 2 in the Elite Eight to go to the Final Four. That's like so much legacy. 2 points, put a ton of legacy on the line.
Yeah,
2 points.
What was that like going to school in New York City for somebody that you were from Queens, right? Like you lived here, you grew up here. I have to imagine that college experience for you is a lot different from a lot of kids that go somewhere else and they're hours away from home. What was it like when you were in college here in New York? Were you going home every day? Were you staying by campus?
Well, when I was in college, I actually was in the gym a lot, but I would go home when I could. Like if I had some money to get home, I'd probably take a taxi. But I did go back to Queensbridge quite often. But I was in the gym so much, I didn't really have a lot of time to do anything else, eat and sleep and basketball.
Yeah. What made you so good as a defender in the NBA? Because, when you talk about different guys and their skill set, you know why Steph Curry is incredible because of his shooting. You know why LeBron, can do all these things. But defense and rebounding are the two things that I always look at and be like, how is this guy that much better than everyone else? Is it just effort? Is it technique? Is it wanting it more? Like, what separated you to become such an elite defender in your heyday?
I mean, it's the same thing like offense. Offense, you got to have some type of grit, right? When you think of Kobe, you think of his offense and you think of his mentality, which is just as hard as defense. So it's the same exact thing. The only difference is you're applying technique on defense. I was playing at 260. So a lot of these wing defenders, 225. All the best wing defenders that everyone mentioned, 225, right? So carrying an extra 40 pounds, that's all technique because these guys were way quicker than me, right? So I had to constantly be in position to cut guys off and to not let them get to that spot, because if they did get to the spot they wanted to get to, I couldn't really catch faster guys.
Yeah.
So tons of technique. And then over the years, if you're thinking about how you're going to stop a guy, 1,000 times, eventually, you're going to get it. I think I was gifted with strength and some quickness. And I had a ton of endurance. So I think that helped me, especially going up against some of these amazing Hall of Famers. But I was prideful about the way guys want to dunk on people. That's how I wanted to shut guys down.
Yeah, I loved that about your game. What who was the guy who was the toughest to guard that maybe we don't think about? Like not a Kobe, not a LeBron, but someone that you always struggled with because they had some type of ability that people might not have recognized when they were watching them.
I mean, if I go in order of the toughest guys I defended, and this is going to answer your question, the obvious would be first. Like Michael Jordan was the hardest guy I ever defended. Then there's a tie between Kobe and LeBron. And then next would be Richard Hamilton. Richard Hamilton was hard because all he's doing is running the whole time. So I'm not a shooting guard, but I often guard the best players, whoever's doing work. So if it's a center, I go to the center. When it was Iverson, when I was in Chicago, I had to go to Iverson. You know, and then with Rich Hamilton, all he's doing is running the whole time. And that's extremely tiring. I remember guarding Rip Hamilton, and after the game, just being exhausted, just from chasing him around screen after screen after screen. And he separates so well. Once at the point of the screen, he's gone. And it's so hard to keep up with him.
Interesting. That's a good answer.
Yeah, because you're right. When you'd watch him play, and we talked to Jim Calhoun over the summer, and he kept pointing at Rip and being like, "This guy is just unbelievable. He just doesn't ever."
No, he's tired. He's for sure a Hall of Famer, and he's a different. You don't really recognize it because he's not jumping over the rim, but he's won everywhere he's been in UConn and the NBA, and he's an extremely talented player. It's just hard to really respect like his greatness because he's not doing things like Kobe or anybody else.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to play against him to really understand how fucking good he was.
Yes,
because
exactly.
You don't get tired watching him play. You know, you get tired defending against him. I heard an awesome story. I need to know if this is true or not. After the 2008 finals, it was the Celtics. They beat the Lakers. I heard that you walked into the Lakers locker room while Kobe Bryant was in the shower by himself, and you were like, "Kobe, I want to play for you. I want to help you win another championship." Is that true? And he was like, "Yeah, sure, but how did you get in here?"
The story is like 50-50. So I was at the game. I was playing with the Sacramento Kings at the time. So I didn't want to go to that game having the media think that I was, pitching myself for the Celtics or the Lakers, right? So I get to the game. I'm wearing a Sacramento Kings shirt at this game. Now, meanwhile, this is game 6. So Lamar Odom and Kobe Bryant, right, is there and his team. And Lamar, I grew up playing with Lamar. Okay, so I'm going there. The main reason I went there, and I invited my friend to go with me, because I've never been to a championship game. And this is probably 9 years into my career. So I want to start preparing for the finals because I know like eventually I'm going to be there. And I've never been to a finals game. So I said, just let me go, look at the atmosphere and figure out how I'm going to figure it out when I get there. So that was the one reason I went. Second reason was Lamar Odom. So they lose by 30. After the game, I'm waiting for them to come out. They taking so long. They let me come into the locker room. I don't know why, but they let me in the locker room. And I see Phil. I said, "Hey, Phil, man, great game." And I said, "Hey, Lamar, great game." I said, "I want to say good game to Kobe. Where's Kobe at?" I said, "Kobe's in the shower." I said, "Dang, he's in the shower." And then, I saw Phil Jackson says he's back there. And then Brian Shaw was right there. And I said, "Hey, B. Shaw, where Kobe at?" And then B. Shaw said, "He's in the shower." He pointed backwards. So I just said, you know what? I'm not about to wait for him to go in the shower. I'm trying to get out of here. So I went into the shower and I tapped him on the shoulder. And meanwhile, he's taking a hot shower, just lost about 30 or 40 in the finals. Nobody's around him in the shower. He probably don't want to talk to nobody. But you know me, I don't really care. So I tap him on the shoulder. He turns around with this mean mug, like, "Who is touching me right now?" And it was Ron Artest. And he was just like, he was so mad, but he turns around and it took him a second to think about what the hell's happening. But I said, "Hey, my God, I wanted to say great game. I know we had a lot of battles, but I'm a huge fan. Great game." And then that was it. Mm-hmm. I didn't say I want to play with him because I enjoy playing against him so much.
I think that like Ron Artest, he was getting ready to fight whoever it was that was tapping him on his shoulder, but he turned around and he's like, oh fuck, it's the one guy that I probably shouldn't fight.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
So
I mean, yeah,
that's
it was the
incredible.
Mamba mentality eyes.
Yeah, yeah. So then you obviously play with him. You win a title with him. It was, and in that 7th game, you come up huge for the Lakers when Kobe was having a little bit of an off night. Did you feel like going to that game prepared you for a Game 7 NBA Finals, or was it like when you got to this Game 7, it was totally different no matter what because it was like, holy shit?
I think going to that finals really helped me a lot because when I was there, like people know, it's no secret that I had anxiety and depression. That's no secret, right? So, and it's also no secret that I was a tough player. But let's just focus on being a tough player and let's remove anxiety from this equation, right? And if you don't have the experience, you're going to be thinking, oh my goodness, if I miss a shot, what's going to happen? Whereas when I went into that finals, I didn't have a ton of good games, but it didn't affect me. You know, I just continued to just play. And I think in 2008 helped me tremendously.
And that finals, that Game 7, like, don't take this the wrong way because you could score too, but that was a game built for Ron Artest. I remember, like, that was a rock fight in the best sense of the world.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what was it?
That's
I'm looking up right now. 83-79 was the final.
Yes.
Like, that's incredible thinking about where the NBA is today.
Well, it didn't matter. I think if you look at when I was in my prime and you look at all the other games, a lot of high-scoring games, but even when we lost to to the Detroit Pistons in 2004, that score was 71-67.
Yeah.
To go to the finals.
Yeah.
And if you look at even when we lost to the Lakers the year before we won the championship, Game 7 when I was with the Rockets, and we took them to Game 7, they beat us by 17 points. No, 19 points. The score was 89-70.
That's crazy.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I know how to make the game like ugly.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
How do you do that? How do you make a game ugly if you're playing against a guy like James Harden and you know he's trying to make it ugly but in a way that benefits him on offense? He knows all the tricks.
Right.
How do you make it ugly in a way that benefits the defense? How do you muck it up?
Well, tons of deflections. I used to lead in Indiana. They kept deflection stats. I led my team by far in deflections. Lots of deflections all the time, deflecting on top of steals. So you're just stopping the clock. You know, you can't really pass the ball anywhere around me. But some guys will always say, watch Ron, watch out, all the time on the floor. Watch out, he's right there. Don't throw the ball. And that, you know, all that takes seconds off the clock. You know, you can't just pass the ball to the post around me. You can't just give the ball to someone. But that's when I was fast, not now. Now you can pass the ball anywhere in my vicinity. I won't catch it.
But you make a good point. So, like, we're taught growing up, like, if you deflect the ball out of bounds, it doesn't mean anything because they get to keep the ball. Or if you kick the ball, right? They call it kickball, and then we're told, like, don't do that. You're not allowed to kick the ball. In reality, you're making them reset completely on offense. They have to inbound the ball again. They have to set their offense back up, and they have to try to run a play and get a shot off.
Yes, deflections is big. If you can get as many deflections as you can, touch the ball. Every chance you get, just touch it. You know, it takes the ball off course. You add that up over a period of time, you know, you done save yourself some possessions.
Yeah, just touch the ball as much as you can.
Yeah,
I love that advice. And then, you know, after you won your NBA championship, I remember the post-game interview. The first person that you thanked, was it your psychiatrist or your psychologist?
That's funny. So when I said it, I said psychiatrist. Now, meanwhile, I've never done this before. I never thanked my shrink national television ever. But I kind of knew. I didn't know I was going to do that, but I was so happy, and things was just coming to my head. But I knew I was seeing a therapist, but she was a psychologist. She texted me after, and she said, Ron Artest at the time. She said, Ron, great game. Thanks for the shout out, but by the way, I'm a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I said, oh my goodness, I'm really sorry about that.
You gave her like 2 extra years of medical school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? And she's not a psychiatrist. I was like, oh man. And then, you know, obviously there's a big difference, right? Psychiatry is MD medicine and psychology is therapy.
Yeah.
But it was actually really good because although psychology would have been great, I thought that psychiatry actually, even though I'm not a big fan of medicine, but I thought that it just gave people confidence, to really, improve themselves. So it actually really worked out.
Yeah, I remember you saying after that, you were like, my psychiatrist or psychologist, whatever you said, I learned a lot of new tools on how to deal with some of the things that you had been going through and some of the mental difficulties you had in years prior. Like specifically when it comes to basketball, what kind of tools are you getting that allowed you to kind of focus in?
Man, it was crazy, man. So if you look at my career, everything on the court, man, like it's technical fouls. When we lost against the Knicks, I take the camera from the cameraman, break the camera. I take the monitor from the scores table, break the monitor, right? $125,000 fine. No, price. I had to pay for the camera and a fine. And this has happened in my whole career. Look at the Detroit game when we played them, Indiana versus Detroit, at the Palace of Auburn Hills. One game to go to the finals, I elbow Richard Hamilton in the face. Semifinals, they go to the finals and win it. Then I get traded to Sacramento. I get suspended in the playoff game again, right, in Sacramento against the Spurs. Then I go to the Lakers. I get ejected in Game 5. We take them to Game 7. We lose Game 5. So in my mind, I'm like, I know I'm a champion. I've won everywhere I was at. That's not really, I'm not too concerned about that. But the concern is I don't have no titles. This is what I'm talking to my therapist about. I'm telling her, like, every time I get, to the big game, I'm doing something to mess it up. And I say, I just don't want this to happen anymore. We got to figure this out. Any little thing gets on my skin. Like when I got ejected with Richard Hamilton, playing against the Pistons, Hamilton elbows me in the groin. I elbow him in the face. The referee see the second one, right? But you can see the full action on television, but I get the text. Then in San Antonio and Sacramento Kings, Ginobili elbows me in the mouth, busts my lip, by the way, but then I elbow him in the face, right? Boom, I get the tech, I get ejected, right? Then you look at the Game 7 in Rockets versus the Lakers. My brother Kobe kind of throws something at me in the neck. I go back at him, right? I get ejected, right? So in my mind, I'm like, okay, like, do you really want to win a title? So that's what me and my therapist focused on. So it was focused on, I was so competitive in many different ways and irrationally competitive, so we had to focus on, like, where is the foundation at? What you've been through as a child, why do you have so much anger built up, all this stuff, and how can you improve yourself so you can be effective on the court? And that's what we was working on. Then Game 7 came, and I've been seeing her for a long time. And the night before Game 7, I said, hey, I need you to come here today. And she said, now? I said, yeah. She said, I can come in the morning. She came in the morning. We went to shoot around with the Lakers. We had a quick session. I was really worried about Game 7. So we had a quick therapy session before Game 7. And then, the rest is history.
That's awesome. So that's a great story of, like, persevering and overcoming a lot of different, mental things to get to that point. And it had to have felt incredible once you reached that mountaintop. I remember the story of you said afterwards you just hung out with your, like, couple closest friends and smoked 10 blunts. And you're like, this is awesome.
Yes.
That's gotta be good. Do you remember what you talked about? I mean, obviously you don't have to share, but with a psychologist, like before, where you're like, hey, I'm feeling nervous. I'm feeling extra nervous because it's a game.
I'll tell you what it was. It was Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
I was worried he was going to get under my skin. It was that I literally I was worried he don't get under my skin. But actually, and then Garnett, Garnett is so competitive. So when Garnett talks a lot of trash, but he's not always talking to you. Like, he's talking to the ref and himself. And then Rashid talking trash too. These guys are super intense. And that gives me anxiety, being around. I had different experiences as a kid growing up playing basketball. It wasn't just basketball. It was violence and basketball. So, like, growing up, I traumatized from certain actions. I get traumatized from certain types of people and intensity and emotion, because I take it as, you want to fight.
Yeah.
And, although, like, you could be in an NBA game, you're not going to really fight, consistently. But it could take you off out of focus. So I just the Celtics, man, that team was intense, man, and it was really hard to deal with. It was really hard for me to deal with spiritually, emotionally, and I wanted to just be able to block it all out. And just worry about the game.
And you put it mildly there with basketball and violence, because you've talked about this extensively, but when you were growing up playing basketball, you watched a murder in front of you, right? Like that happened in front of you, and that has to have been something that changed your outlook of the entire game and how you played.
Well, that murder didn't happen in front of me. It was a guy named Lloyd Newton, who we idolized Lloyd.
Yeah.
They were playing an away game, and we knew they were going away, and we were waiting for them to come back. Whatever the case may be, play some basketball. Then word got back to us that Lloyd died on the basketball court. They had a fight. Somebody broke a chair, threw it through his heart. He dies. I mean, the neighborhood was in disarray at this point. And then that's one incident that happened to us that scarred us for a long time. And then we had other things that happened. Different places, different things happening on the court, because us, we gonna go anywhere to play ball. You're not, if there's a game, we come in unless, they shooting, then we might not come.
It's interesting. It's interesting though, because
might not.
You have, it's natural. I think it's a perfectly natural reaction if you grow up playing basketball and there's violence that's associated with the game and fights that take place. To still carry that with you when you play basketball at a high level. It's all growing up.
Right.
I think it can show you that it's a rational behavior that you have, a rational feeling that you have, whereas other people from the outside might look at you and be like, oh, that's Ron Artest, he's a hothead, and not understand the full picture of it. But from your perspective, you were able to figure out how to manage that, and it sounds like it helped you out, especially against those intense Celtics teams.
Yeah, I mean, certain times, because it was always intense, so intensity wasn't an issue. It's a gift and a curse. You know what I'm saying? It's a gift to play with the type of intensity I play with. Only one time I've seen a teammate work harder, and that's when I got to the Lakers and I saw Kobe, and I'm just like, I thought I was working the hardest.
Yeah.
I played with everyone, and my job was to work the hardest. And Kobe is different type of guy, and it inspired me, but yeah, that was my thing, was intensity, hard work, don't give up and get through anything, which, like I said, is a gift and a curse.
Yeah. What would Kobe do on the court during those battles to would he help try to calm you down or keep you, if people are talking shit to you, how would he play in part to it? Because it does seem like from all the Kobe stories, he was hard to be a teammate with, but he also was a very loyal teammate and, was there for his teammates when the chips were really down.
It wasn't, I think, day one, I brought intensity. My first practice, I got in an argument with the whole team. You know what I'm saying? And Phil Jackson.
Set the tone. Set the tone.
Intense. So I didn't have no issues with Kobe because I was bringing it. And that team, that 2010 team, everybody was bringing it. That team. So it wasn't that team that people refer to, but that's the main thing. Kobe, he loved intensity and he respects it. And at the same time, I mean, I'm just naturally like that. So it was a match made in heaven, honestly.
Yeah. Who is the best coach you played for, and maybe the worst coach, and why was it Tim Floyd?
Hey, why wasn't Tim Floyd? No, that's funny.
Who's the best coach? Give us who's the best coach you played for.
We can start with Tim. So Tim was one of the reasons why I became a hell of a defender in the league, for one. Because we did a lot of defense in practice, and he taught a lot of defense, individual defense. And I really credit him a lot with part of my defense, NBA defense. But you got to think about with Tim and RP Jerry Krause, they was running that show for Tim. Tim wasn't running that show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Tim wasn't running that show. And Tim had a tough job because, why would you not take an NBA head coaching job? Right? You get paid a lot of money and it's a huge opportunity. So, people get on Tim, but Tim was not running that show. We had to run a triangle, which I love the triangle, but not everybody understands the triangle. And we had to put in certain guys because we were developing. Then we had veterans on the team, and they deserve to be there. Dickie Simpkins, Tony Kukoc, Greg Anthony, Will Perdue, B.J. Armstrong. They deserve to be there, and get that last contract, right? So not everything Tim wanted to do. So you can't really blame Tim.
And he had to do it right after the Bulls. Yeah, he had to do it after the dynasty. Yeah,
right after the dynasty. Tim is my man. Like Tim, that's my guy. That's my guy. I really like him. So then, with that being said, I would say the best coach I ever played for. It's hard. I mean, Phil Jackson is obviously the GOAT. I mean, Rick Carlisle is pretty impressive. Rick Carlisle is he's a hell of a basketball mind. I learned so much from that guy. Which I carry with me to this day, because I coach a lot. And then I played for Isaiah Thomas. That was incredible. Isaiah was it was really easy for Isaiah because, he knew everything. He was a point guard. You know what I'm saying? He had a great feel for the game. We had a great staff, so Isaiah was amazing. I played for Mike Brown. Mike Brown is very methodical. He's very technical. That military background, everything has to be perfect. Everything has to be right. Great coach. And then I played for, Rick Adelman was incredible. Rick Adelman is incredible. I mean, he don't get a lot of credit for how great of a coach he is. But, to be able to come to a practice and understand time management, understand how not to, mentally drain your players, have a great practice, and your team is just flowing. It might look like we practiced hours. Rick Adelman just knew what he had, and he must have been the Michael Jordan of coaching, honestly, because it was way too easy for him.
Huh?
It was way too easy. He's an incredible coach. A lot of people would say that too.
Yeah.
What about your time over in Sichuan? When you signed with the Blue Whales, what was your thinking process? Did they just have a nice check waiting for you, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, I could see myself living in China for a little bit. Or what was that like for you to kind of have to adapt to that whole new culture?
Well, I would have never been there, honestly, if it wasn't for my injury. So I tear my meniscus. Takes about 6 weeks to come back. I tear my meniscus right before we play the Spurs in the playoffs, and this is the year Kobe's out. Right, so I come back in 5 days, and a lot of people argue with me and say, you can't come back in 5 days, because this. But I go online with a meniscus tear. The first thing the surgeon tells you to do is step and walk. That's the first thing they tell you to do from a meniscus tear. So I was like, really? You want me to step and walk? I said, then why can't I just play? They said, you got to give it time to heal. So I go online and it shows where you can heal from meniscus, where you can walk or run in 7 days. So I did a ton of research. I sent it to the doctors, and they said, okay, it's on you. So dumbest mistake of my life in terms of my career. Came back too early. I didn't hurt myself, but I was receiving a lot of fluid in my knee. So I had to keep draining the fluid. The next year I go to the Knicks, my knee's not right. I'm only, when my knee is right, I play well. When my knees, filled with fluid, I can't play. It's like that extreme. I either can play or I can't. So then I left the Knicks in January. And then the next season, at that point, I kind of thought my career was over. But, the knee it was getting better. So then China called, and then I went to China. And then I went to Italy after that. And my knee it got better. It took me about 2 years to, fully heal. And then I finished my career with the Lakers.
Right, the nickname, the Panda's friend, when you were over in China. That's why I asked. I love that nickname. How did you give yourself that nickname, or did somebody else give it to you?
So my daughter loved pandas, right? So my daughter loved pandas, and I had a brand. I'm always trying to stay close to my kids, so I said, let's just do a brand together. We call it the Panda's Friend, right? And then, literally, when I named it the Panda's Friend, like a month later, or maybe 2 weeks later, I get a call from the Sichuan Blue Whales, which said, we would love for you to come play for China. So I didn't change my name because I went to China and I didn't change my name, but it was a brand. It was never my name. It was just the name of a clothing line, which is, it was a fun little clothing line, which sometimes, it sells on Shopify. Not a lot.
So the story about your knee, that pretty much tells us maybe don't use WebMD to decide how to recover from a knee injury. That's a good life lesson too.
I mean, well, you can use WebMD, but I used it for my advantage, honestly, because I felt like I knew. I'm always thinking about a title. We had one, I won another one. I mean, we had a great team. We had Steve Nash, Dwight Howard. I didn't know if I was going to be able to play with these guys again, and for sure we didn't. Those guys, Nash retired. They broke it up, and I was in the playoffs. With Nash, Howard, Powell, Kobe was hurt, and I got a chance to. We got swept by the Spurs, and I was on one leg, but it was great. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy to think you're the same age as Udonis Haslem, and I think that Udonis Haslem is going to play for 5 more years. He's just going to stay at the end of the bench for the Heat. Is it if you had to come in 2-3 games a year and give 15 minutes, do you think you could still play in the league?
I mean, I for sure could, but the league it works like this. When you get towards the end of your career, I mean, you can either be like Haslam and the team can choose to pick you up, or not, and if not, then what do you do after that? Do you go overseas or do you just retire and stay home? And I was, my last game in Staples Center, I had 18 in the second half, so I could play, but I was trying to still play, but, I just couldn't make it. I just couldn't get on the team. I mean, name how many people scored 18 in the second half,
Yes.
The games towards the end of my career, I wasn't playing. I was mentoring for one. The last 2 years, I wasn't playing.
Mm-hmm.
But then, when my career was almost over, they decided to play me. The last 5 games, we went 5-0. My last 5 games, and I'm happy with that. We won 5. I had 18 in the second half to end my career in Staples Center. For sure, I can play, but that's one thing. The other thing is a team would have to say, "Hey, we would like you on our team."
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been awesome. We thank you so much. I had one last question. So everyone go check out Metaphorically Speaking for more great stories from Meta. The last question, I believe you. I am a big believer in this, what happened to you, but I'd like to hear it from your own words. You were touched inappropriately by a ghost.
That was a joke.
Damn.
Oh, come on.
But that's...
Kesha had sex with a ghost too.
Yeah.
It's a very popular thing.
And that's the Oklahoma City hotel that everyone says is haunted.
I know. I was like, "Oh, the ghost touched me." But you know what did happen? So I was there in the hotel, right? So it's no wind, no windows are open. I was in the hotel for 2 hours at this point. And then I feel something go like this. And we all know what an itch feels like, right? An itch, I got an itch. That wasn't an itch. That was a wind that blew right across my forehead. And I was like, okay. I said, I already know what it is.
It's ghost. So you did get touched by a ghost. You did get touched by a ghost.
Not inappropriately.
Okay, that part might be a little bit embellished, but you were touched by a ghost.
It sounds like when your aunt pinches your cheek.
Yeah, you were touched by a ghost.
It had to be. What else could that have been?
Nothing.
What else?
It was a ghost.
It's definitely a
that
ghost.
was a ghost. Yes, but we appreciate it, man. This has been really awesome. And anytime you're in New York City, back in New York, definitely stop by. We'd love to have you back on.
And I just want to apologize and pardon my take if I said anything.
You did not. That was a great interview.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Seriously.
I enjoyed it. Seriously,
Yeah.
when you're in New York, come to the studio. We're right across from MSG. So stop in. We'd love to talk to you in person.
Yeah.
Okay, I will for sure come by, and thanks a lot. It was great being on your show.
All right. Thanks so much.
See ya. Meta Sandiford, Artest was brought to you by our very good friends over at Coors Light. We love Coors Light. The mountains are blue. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, you know wherever you are, the mountains are blue. It doesn't matter the weather. Coors Light is the coldest tasting beer in the entire world. It is the perfect season for mountain cold refreshment that's made to chill. If you feel like you're always on, you need a moment to chill. If you want to hit the reset button, you need to take a moment to chill with our good friends at Coors Light. These days, everything is go, go, go. It's nothing but nonstop hustle all the time. Luckily, Coors Light is made to chill. Just reach for an ice-cold Coors Light. This weekend at the bar, I'm going to go to a Halloween party on Saturday. I'm bringing one thing with me. I'm going in costume as the chillest person in the world because I'll be bringing my own Coors Light with me. The mountains are going to be so blue. That would be a good Halloween costume too, just a blue mountain. Shout out to anybody out there getting dressed up as a bottle of Coors Light this Halloween. It's mountain cold refreshment. It's made to chill. It's cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged, literally made to chill. Coors Light is the one I choose when I need to unwind. It's made to chill. You can order it on Drizzly or Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/take. That's CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Now here is Usain Bolt.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest. You know him very, very well because he's an Olympic legend, absolute legend. It's Usain Bolt. He is joining us because he's working with Sprint Ray, which is democratizing dentistry through the launch of the Bolt Labs powered by Sprint Ray. So let's talk about that real quick before we get into other stuff. What exactly is this initiative? Because it sounds very cool, even though I hate going to the dentist.
You can't, man. You can't hate going to the dentist. It's necessary, you know what I mean? But I guess a lot of people are afraid of the dentist, but it's very important. But for me, this initiative is important because a lot of people in Jamaica, it's hard for them to actually get to the dentist. You know what I mean? I'm from the rural area, so I understand the need for this. And this is why when Sprint Ray approached us, I was excited about this because for me, I'm trying to build a legacy outside of sports. And this is something that I'm excited about building because in the rural area, you have to travel miles upon miles to get to the dentist. So we can get a mobile truck to get to these people is very important. And I'm happy to be a part of this.
Mm-hmm. So how does it work? Somebody uses Sprint Ray and then it contacts a dentist for them who then is able to drive out to their actual house?
We'll have a truck, a bus, whatever, with all the dentists on it, and then we'll go to the people. We'll get to travel through different rural areas. We'll probably put out a schedule so people know this is where we're going to be on this day. So it's easier for people to access and for them to get to the dentist.
Okay, yeah, very cool.
So I have a very dumb question, but listeners to our show know that I usually ask this when we have certain athletes on. How cool is it to be that fast? Because I'm not a fast guy. Like, is it just the coolest feeling in the world to just be faster than everyone all the time?
Yeah, definitely. Trust me, it's something that I always smile about when I think about it. Like anybody that comes up to me and want to race, I'm like, be cool. You got no chance, you know what I mean? So it's definitely a cool vibe.
Yeah. Are you the fastest person who has ever lived in the history of the planet?
Yeah, that's one thing that cannot be disputed.
That's such a cool thing to say. Like, I am the best. I'm definitively the best at doing something out of the billions and billions and billions of people that have ever walked on this earth.
Exactly. It's a title that's just wonderful to have, and it stands out, and I'm very proud of it. I worked for that, so yeah.
So how much faster can humans get at this point? Because it's always something interesting to project. Obviously, it's not going to be possible for anybody to run 100 meters in 5 seconds, right? The human body just probably isn't capable of ever reaching that point. But how much faster can people get?
You never know, you know what I mean? For me, the possibility endless, and they keep trying to figure out ways, because now, even the other day, they actually came out with new spikes that helps you to actually run faster, you know what I mean? So you never know what's next, you know what I mean? So for me, the possibility is endless right now because everything is getting better and better, you know what I mean? So it's just levels.
Can we say that the person who will break 9 seconds has been born already?
Maybe one of my sons.
Yeah. Yes. Who? I think you named your son Lightning, right?
No, my son is Thunder.
Okay. Thunder. The one thing I love, the story that I read, you've never run a mile, right? You've never run a distance of a mile.
No.
That's awesome. So what's the longest you've run?
For me, I've gone to 800 meters just in training, just for work, but I've never gone past 800 meters. I mean, they forced me to do it. I didn't want to.
Wait, so you not even a jog? You've never run a jog mile or 2 miles?
I've tried, but my calf, there's a thing, I have scoliosis. I have really bad scoliosis. So when I run for long distances, my back gets tight. And then it's like, yeah. So I avoid running the long distances. I really try. But when I was younger, I did do 1 5-mile run.
Okay.
And
so
again, they forced me to do it.
that's incredible, though. The fastest man alive never ran more than a mile. I also, so I looked up, I used to blog a lot more, but I had an old blog from 2013 that I don't know if you could fact check this, but you ate 100 chicken nuggets a day leading up to the Beijing Olympics?
It was while I was there. It wasn't leading up. When I got to China, it was, the food was not something that I liked. You know what I mean? And in the village, if you know the village, they have like a canteen, like it's massive. So it has all kind of different foods from like Asian, Indian, everywhere. And they had a McDonald's in there. And I knew McDonald's. I was like, you know what, to be safe, let's have chicken nuggets. So I had a lot of chicken nuggets that whole entire time I was there.
So this is like, I mean, you're the best because you're basically you're the fastest man alive. You won all these gold medals. You eat 100 chicken nuggets a day, and you don't run more than a mile. That is, you're the people's champ.
That is the key.
Yeah,
that is the key.
It's very impressive. What do you think about the most recent world champion, Olympic champion sprinter Jacobs, the Italian guy? It seems, from an outsider's point of view, it seems interesting that a guy that has never broken 10 seconds before is now, the Olympic gold medalist. Again, I'm not a doctor. It just seems very interesting.
For me, it's all about the moment. You know what I mean? At times, people get flustered in the moment because, to tell you the truth, I was surprised too. But showing up on that line, some people are ready, some people are not. Trust me, it's be at the Olympics finals and know that the race could be anybody's race. It plays on your mind as an athlete because this is the first time I'm not there to compete. So now everybody's saying who's going to win. And the pressure is on everybody in that race. Mm-hmm. So I think he was just more mentally prepared. You know what I mean? And the other thing is that the tracks that they make in Asia is always very good tracks. Trust me.
Yeah.
The track was really fast last
That's
Olympics.
the part that we didn't realize, too, that, like, the different tracks in each one in the Olympics, they want you to break records, so they make the track, like, better and more conducive to running faster times every like, new Olympics.
Yeah, definitely. They try to figure out ways to make the tracks better, so it's better for sprinting and for running fast. But for some reason, I think Asia, like Japan and China, they always make excellent tracks. And I always enjoy competing on them.
So you've been retired for a little bit now. Can you, like, if you just ran 100 meters today, how fast would you be?
I have no idea. I have no idea right now. I mean, I've been just traveling and drinking and living. So.
I mean, that's a good life. But I wonder, like, you don't lose all of it. You would still be very, very fast, I'd assume.
I'd still be fast. It's just running the alley to be a problem. But with regular people, I'd still smoke anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, that's got to be awesome. That's got to be awesome.
So what's the fastest that you've ever run in competition? Was it the 9.72?
It was the 9.58 seconds.
9.58, yeah, the 9.58 in competition. Have you ever ran faster than that in training?
No, because competition drives you to run faster. I mean, training is a training. No matter how hard you try to run in training or run faster, it's always just in competition.
What's the fastest that you've ever ran in training? Like, how much of a boost do you get from the competition?
Well, it's big. You know what I mean? Like, I probably run like 9 in training. That's probably the fastest, maybe 9.8, but otherwise it's just slow times, you know what I mean? Because competition is so intense and the adrenaline gets pumping and you get going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember a couple years ago you were talking about maybe trying to work in some NFL football action, trying to get on the field. Do you think that you could be an elite wide receiver? Getting hit is a different thing, but you could be like a Deshaun Jackson type, right, where you just run as fast as you can to the end zone. It'd be, humanly impossible to guard you on defense. Have you taken any steps in that direction?
It's something that I've definitely, when it started, but back in the days, they used to take receivers out because I watch the NFL, so I know they normally take receivers out. So that's something that when they approach or people ask, I was like, nah, I'm good. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to get my knees blown out or anything.
Yeah, I mean, especially you with your height. You are a Packers fan. I'm a Bears fan. I hate the Packers.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're friends.
So why do you like Aaron Rodgers? He's the worst.
I'll never say that. Aaron is the best. He's the NFL. You know what I mean? From Brett Favre and everybody, for me, it's been Packers. I grew up watching the game. I didn't get every game, but I got a few games. But this weekend, I'm going to tweet that to you. Look out for it.
Yes.
This weekend, when we beat you this weekend, we'll talk.
I don't know about it, but yes, I mean, you guys beat us. I'm going to follow you right now, so I'm going to tweet at you when the Bears beat the Packers, which doesn't happen very often, but that's going to happen. I guarantee it. I'm personally guarantee it. So the Olympics, like, the Olympics are, to me, I love watching the Olympics, but it does feel like at times it's fading in terms of like the popularity overall. What is it in the Olympics? When you were in the Olympics, everyone was tuned in because you were such a big deal. Do you think the Olympics are going to go back and forth in terms of popularity based on just the athletes, or is there a fixed long term?
I feel like it's always going to be about the athletes, you know what I mean? If they step up and people are excited, like Simone Biles, people are excited to see her, so people will watch. So the athletes really put on great performance and make it big, then people will tune in no matter what, you know what I mean? So that's something is all on the athletes to really make people want to tune into the Olympics and watch the Olympics. So yeah, something big.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, your longevity and also Michael Phelps' longevity coinciding really kind of helped with, those were must-watch Olympics.
Yeah, I fully agree with this. You know what I mean? Michael Phelps in the water was just dominant force. You know what I mean? He proved himself over and over again that he's the best. And for us to be at the Olympics at the same time, every year people look forward to actually seeing us and watching and expecting this greatness from us.
The iconic picture of you running away in the 100-meter dash, the one where you're looking over your shoulder and it looks like you're laughing at the guys that are trying to catch you. It's become one of my all-time favorite memes. You can put anything on that and it'll get a laugh out of me for a meme. Were you actually laughing at the guys behind you, or was it just a split second?
I don't even remember what was going on in that race. People were like, you're laughing. I was like, I don't remember laughing, but the picture, you got the picture, it looked like I was laughing. So, and that picture kind of just blew up, you know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't even remember laughing, but maybe I was smiling.
Yeah, it's a great picture. You're just grinning at people. It's almost like you're laughing at them because they think that they can be faster than you, and you're just like, I'm the one who's fast.
Yeah,
because everybody believes they can beat me. So it's always fun.
Yeah, I mean the iconic. Yeah, it's a very iconic picture. So the relay. America sucks at the relay now. Why does America suck at the relay now?
I really don't know. I swear, I didn't actually. It was actually this year that I actually took note. I've never really taken note of the fact that they never get the baton around. It's always something that goes wrong. It was this year that I actually watched and they said, let's see if America will make it, and they didn't make it, and I couldn't believe it. I don't know. You guys are such great athletes, such great runners over there in Jamaica, so I never know why you guys never do good in the Olympics for one.
We can't do the baton thing.
The baton.
What approach does Jamaica take to a baton that America does not?
I don't know. For us, I guess we don't practice as much. We just go in and just let it happen.
I like that. Yeah, we practice too much.
Don't overthink it. Just be an athlete.
That could be it. That could be it right now.
It does make sense because you shouldn't have to plan out for how to hand a baton to somebody. It should just be something that you naturally do. You don't need to train specific muscle groups to hand a baton. And we're so obsessed with sports science sometimes, we might do something like that.
The only difference with changing the baton is that it depends on the people you're bringing it to, because they have to get a running start. So if you bring somebody that's really fast, they have to make a shorter marker, because there's a marker for when they actually take off. And I think that's the only part you have to get right. I think it's easy to hand the baton over, you know what I mean? Because you just have to be really safe, and there's the specific rules and things that they tell you as a baton changer. Listen, keep your hands steady. Do not feel, because a lot of people do that. If they expect to feel the baton, they start moving their hands around, and that's how you drop the baton and miss, run out of the box, all these things.
Yeah. All right, so I have one last question. I'm very nervous to ask this question because you're a big soccer fan. You're also the GOAT of running. You're the GOAT of 100 meters, 200 meters. So, from GOAT to GOAT, who is your GOAT in soccer?
Cristiano Ronaldo.
God damn it. I knew he was going to say that. Are you a Man U fan? Is that why?
Yeah, it's partially why, but Cristiano has proven himself from Manchester United to Real Madrid to Juventus and now back at Manchester United. You know what I mean?
Proven how? Just tapping it in? Tapping it in? Just penalties?
Yeah, well, between the two of you are the GOATs of a combined 106 meters.
Yeah.
Listen, being in one team all your life, what does that mean? You know what I mean? That's what I'm always saying. That's why Tom Brady left New England, to prove to the world that I'm the one that got those rings, not New England. You know what I mean? So that's how you have to do it. You know what I mean? You have to prove to the world. Everybody knows when Tom won that 7th ring, he was like, all right, what you got to say now? You know what I mean? So that's why he left. He didn't need to leave New England.
So why didn't you run track for America?
Oh, that's not, no, I can't.
Well, you should have. You should have won us some gold medals.
No, the Jamaicans would have killed me. That would be assassinated.
Yeah, that would have been bad. That would have been really bad.
So are you going to root for Aaron Rodgers when he leaves Green Bay?
That's I don't think he's going to leave.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he's leaving.
Well, then he's not the GOAT.
He's leaving. He is leaving.
I don't think he's going to leave. Do not put that out there. Do not put that out there.
I'm actually... Whatever. I guess I expected you to say Ronaldo, but it does pain me a little that all you care about is like tapping in from two feet out.
Watch this season. Watch this season. I want you to record this. Watch this season of Messi in PSG, and then we'll talk afterwards.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's the best.
Can you imagine if Messi? He's won literally everything.
He's just getting used to French culture.
What I'm saying, what has he done so far?
He's getting used to it.
Ronaldo has never won a. What's the South American Cup?
World Cup
in
thing.
4 games.
South America.
What he's talking about? He's done 5 goals in 4 games without the penalty. I might have.
Okay, listen. That's because they don't play defense in England.
Yeah,
it's a completely different league. It's a farmers league.
It's the number 1 league.
They don't play defense. No.
Well, you have to go. I know you have a heart out. Yeah.
Listen, the league that Messi's in right now is like the fifth best league in the world.
No. Ligue 1? Ligue 1 es bien.
I love it. I love all the leagues equally. Yeah. So I don't know what you're talking about.
At the end of the season, or mid-season, we should have another conversation.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, the Bears are going to beat the Packers, and Messi's going to prove that he's the GOAT, and we'll have you back on.
Don't worry. This weekend, I will be tweeting at you. Don't worry.
Okay. All right, well, Usain, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Awesome thing you're doing with Sprint Ray and helping get dental work to everyone in Jamaica. So we appreciate you joining.
No problem, guys. No problem.
Thanks so much.
Usain Bolt is brought to you by DoorDash. Becoming a Dasher is a no-brainer when you know how easily it fits into college life. With Dashing, you can make money whenever and wherever you want. It's all in your terms. Sign up for the most flexible gig on campus. See how DoorDash can help you deliver your best semester yet. Work when you want to work, not when you don't. Unlike a full-time job, when and where you work is totally up to you. You earn on your own terms. You can earn for an hour, a weekend, or throughout the week. No boss, no uniform, no set shift schedule. I delivered pizzas when I was in college, and honestly, it was pretty fun getting to drive all around, getting to drop food off. I liked it, I enjoyed it, and you can earn money by delivering food on your own terms. Easy way to fund your fun at school. Earn as you go, plus earn extra with available promotions. Get paid the same day you work. Earn with the best. #1 food and drink app. DoorDash is in over 7,000 cities and counting, and no car, no problem. You can grab your bike, your scooter, even your shoes and start today. Take a study break. Go to DoorDash.com/dash course to learn how dashing can help you deliver your best semester yet at DoorDash.com/dash course.
Okay. Let's wrap up. We got Fire Fest of the week, then we'll send everyone on their way. Great interviews. Thank you to Usain Bolt and Meta World Sandiford. Hank, your Fire Fest.
I alluded to it earlier. I've been in a pretty spirited debate these past few weeks with Mother Nature herself.
Yep.
The Queen said wind was a fraud. It's not real wind. Only tornadoes real wind. And then I talked to my real mother, and she said there was a major storm in Scituate on Tuesday.
Oh, no.
90-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh, no.
She was like, we were in the house. We thought we were going to fly away. Like, part of my roof fell off. There's no power. There's no service.
That's on you.
And, yeah, I was like, I feel somewhat responsible.
Yeah, you should.
And it wasn't like Scituate's a big, like, because it's on the water, so there's always like, there's going to be a huge storm, and then it's never really a big storm. People freak out, and nothing ever happens. This was, like, not really planned for. And it was a huge,
a nor'easter got you.
Yeah.
Did you ask her how far she thought she could throw a football in that wind?
No.
Well, that would have helped us for gambling, so miss on your part.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Tough, Hank. Is your house damaged?
Yeah, part of the roof fell off.
So it's like actual damage. You should probably be a good son and go up and fix it.
I should have asked that question before this football question. My bad. End up.
Is everybody?
Okay?
Oh wait, we should say yeah.
Is everyone okay?
Was anybody injured?
No.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Whew.
Good.
That I know of.
That would have been an all-time rug pull on us.
If
you're
you-
like, yeah.
My cat actually got hit with the roof and died. No.
If you mush
You
your
have a cat?
family,
Actually, she ran away. No, not anymore.
was it?
Wait, this story's taking a lot of
No,
twists
it
and
was an
turns.
old cat. It was like 100 years old.
Was it-
And it was.
It ran away to its death.
Yeah, it was a hunter though. It was like we called it demon.
Scouty?
It was a demon cat.
Whoa.
And it would just fucking murk. It would just come home like mice. Blah blah blah. She'd disappear for a few days. We'd be like she's gone, and then she'd just reappear.
God.
Wait.
She was not like a house cat. She was a.
Sounds like she could definitely take some win though.
Yeah, if she was still around, she would have been fine.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah.
That's actually that's incredible. Like cats, say what you want about cats, but I've heard that type of story before where like a cat, indoor, outdoor cat, instead of like having their owners have to put it down, just like walk away one day. Just be like, that's it.
Yeah, because there was multiple times where it was like, the cat's been gone for 2 weeks, it's gone, and then it would just reappear. So it took like a
Dude,
solid
what
like
a fucking
6.
drama queen.
I'm sure my mom is still like low key like maybe she'll
that's
come back.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
No,
All right.
name another pet though that could just leave the house and survive on its own for like 2 weeks. I don't think a dog would ever be able.
No,
a dog's
no.
mission, if it ever ran away, would just be find the next human and
Yes.
run up to it and introduce yourself.
Yes.
A cat is like, fuck this, I'm going Rambo.
Yeah, I'll see you when I see you. Mm-hmm. PFT, your Fire Fest?
My Fire Fest is I have a zit. And
Oh, no.
I'm as a 27-year-old, it's tough.
That is tough.
I'm well past puberty, and I'm just convinced I'm going to keep getting them until I'm 28, 29, 30 years old.
Brutal.
It's bad. I woke up the other morning and my face hurt, and
Where is it?
it's right there. I put makeup on it today.
Oh no!
Yeah, man card.
Yikes!
Big man card. But you know what?
Damn.
All these glaring lights. I couldn't have it reflecting off there.
You don't want that.
But yeah, I got a pretty nasty zit right now. I don't know how to make it go away.
Squeeze it.
Yeah.
I tried.
Pop it.
I tried. It's
Rub some pepperoni on it.
It's unpoppable. It's an unpoppable zit.
Bubba has
Just
a Fire
dug
Fest
in.
too.
Oh, Bubba, you got a Fire Fest?
Special edition.
I actually forgot about this. I told Hank. So I kind of want Billy and Jake's input on it as well. So when you guys were gone Thursday, we had planned to do a video, which Billy had planned to go mini golfing. And it was a mini golf thing that was made for like 4-year-olds. We did like 2 holes, like you couldn't even fit at the place.
Release the footage. You have to release the footage.
No, I literally, we had to stop. I was like, I can't film here. It was all children.
You have to release the
I
footage.
have it as blackmail.
No, release the footage. Blur the
I'm
kids'
not.
faces out and release the footage.
No, it was so bad. We couldn't
All right, you know what we got to do?
I'm not cutting together this video.
No,
It's
you have
so
to cut it
bad.
together. We got to incentivize people. What are we at right now on the YouTube? We'll do a YouTube premiere where PFT and Hank and I watch it for the first time and
literally
commentate on it.
They stopped
313.
doing the video.
313.
How many?
All right, when we get to 325.
How many minutes of footage do we have for this?
I have no idea.
All right, when we get to 325, we're gonna release the footage and we'll do a live watch with everyone. And we'll watch PFT. Hank and I will sit here and watch it and comment on it.
I don't even know if I dumped the footage.
Oh no! Billy, what
best.
happened with the planning there?
Oh, you know what my planning was? I planned it down pack. I got the tickets, got
Nope.
the venue.
He didn't look at.
It sounds like the
you
venue
didn't know
was
what
the
it was.
major
Billy.
problem with
Well,
this.
okay, there
You
was a
did-
video made there already, so it was possible to make a video there.
How old were the people that made it?
40s.
Okay, so you go out there. How many kids are around?
There
you?
are mini golf
There
courses
were
in
adults.
New York.
Yeah.
It was it was a premier mini golfing.
It doesn't sound like it was premiere.
Text me the address.
No, I'll admit it. It was my idea. I saw an Instagram ad of it. It was Pixar Putt. And
Okay.
so it's a pop-up. It's not a real mini golf course.
Got it.
Each hole was modeled after a Disney movie.
That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, it sounded
sounds
fun. It
like
looked
something
fun.
I would like.
But it
Was there a
wasn't.
cars
I picked
hole?
the tickets.
We only finished the front 9. So
Okay.
Wait,
yeah,
who
this-
won?
Holy shit, Billy! This is so small.
It was tiny.
I'm looking at the pictures. You didn't, dude. It's
You
like
can't-
look.
It was.
I thought it would be a fun idea for a video.
I'm gonna take my son to this, and this is very small.
But what that doesn't mean. That means it would be comically funny to watch us do it.
So you were doing that on purpose? Oh, hole 14 is cars.
Yeah.
Oh, so you were doing it as a bit?
It'd be hilarious to watch us do that.
Except that like we were on top of people, so they like kind of couldn't even talk or like make jokes.
Got it.
It
All right,
was
we'll
like-
watch it.
there were-
So there's a Buzz
I
Lightyear
want
hole.
to see this. I want to see this.
Have you guys seen
there's
the?
a few Toy Story holes.
Have you seen the commercial for the new Buzz Lightyear movie?
Yeah.
Creepy.
I'm gonna take my son to this.
Very
It's gonna
creepy.
Be awesome.
Hard pass.
All right, my Firefest is. I think I've always had good vision my entire life. I think I'm starting to. Last night I spent an entire night. You ever
Damn, that
like
sucks. Right as you were starting to see the board.
Yep. No, I actually. This might be part of it. I've been so bad gambling this year. You ever like turn on your TV and you think that someone fucked with the settings? And, like something's like the ratio is the zoom is in or something.
Yeah.
Spent all night trying to figure it out, and I'm pretty sure it's just my eyes.
You should get checked for diabetes.
What?
Yeah, it causes blurry vision.
Billy, you're
Or-
the worst.
Our river.
This is like
Blu-
that time I
Wait.
had diarrhea and Billy was like COVID. Remember that?
Billy is a walking WebMD. If it was like if you could edit WebMD like you could Wikipedia, that's what Billy's brain is. You might have river blindness.
I think
in
I'm
which
just-
case ivermectin, right?
Of course.
I think I honestly think it's just the fact that I stare at a screen all day, every day, and every weekend is 20 hours of watching football is probably not great.
Man, that would
touch grass.
Imagine if you went blind and had to wear sunglasses all the time.
That would suck.
That would suck.
Yeah. Billy, your Firefest.
Everyone thinks I look like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, wow, it's trending topic on Twitter right now.
It wasn't anything about your tweet last night?
What tweet?
Read it out loud. Do a Monday reading. Okay. By the way, I have a Monday reading for us that we will do on Monday if we have
I've
enough
got one
time.
too. What's yours about?
Mine is
3, 2.
Wait, hold on.
I've got mine right here.
I gotta pull mine up. Hold on. Where the fuck is it?
Read the headline at the same time.
All right, 3.
Well, are we doing the headline or just
Headline,
saying what it's
headline.
about?
Ready?
Headline.
3, 2, 1.
The
Alabama student crowned
37-year-olds.
homecoming queen despite election violations.
Okay, we're different.
Okay.
Mine was the 37-year-olds are afraid of the 23-year-olds who work for them.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Did I write that?
No, it was Billy wrote that. I read the first paragraph. Billy wrote it.
Okay.
Basically being like, why are all these bros afraid of me?
We might have to do double Monday reading
Yeah.
then because there's some shit going down at the University of Alabama.
Okay. Billy, your Firefest. Is this tweet?
I think it's a good tweet.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm getting a lot of shit for it though, even though it was a good tweet. Somewhere out there, girls with zero interest in baseball are rooting for the Astros because they think it might help their astrological sign.
Now wait, I don't get it, Billy. Can you explain it to me?
Girls who don't like baseball.
So you're saying girls don't like sports? Right
no,
okay.
girls who don't like baseball. There are girls who like
What
baseball.
about guys that don't like baseball?
maybe who are also a fan of astrology?
Yeah, so why did you say girls specifically?
Because they don't have interest in baseball. Well, anyway, they're rooting for the Astros because they think it might help their astrological sign
Okay.
because they have no skin in the game and they're just rooting for the Astros because their mind's in
Because the
astrology.
name and some of the players eat pancakes because they do pancake blocks.
Yes.
Can you put in a laugh track there, Hank, on Billy reading his tweet aloud?
I did like the quote tweets. So, like, some people obviously were trying to cancel you for real. Like, those people are losers. I like this person, though, who, Alexis, who is mad about the astrology part of it. She said, if they have zero interest in baseball, why would they be rooting for anybody? This is dumb. Say you don't understand astrology and go. I'm going to retweet it right now, actually. Like, just fucking admit you don't know astrology, bro.
Look,
and
man.
There's the door.
When you're shooting from the hip, a lot don't come out the best.
No, but Billy did a great job of. He said that he wasn't trying to appeal to his current audience.
Yeah,
with this tweet, which is in that
Trying to
case,
steal Caucasian James audience.
you did an awesome job of not appealing to your audience.
Right, but
Good
it
job.
still did well.
Or any audience.
Studio audience.
All right, Jake, go ahead. Finish this up.
Yeah, so you guys actually saw this a few weeks ago. It happened again yesterday. I go in the shower with my Apple Watch, and it randomly sends drawing in iMessages.
That happened?
Yeah, remember a few weeks ago?
Oh, yes.
So it's just bugging out. Yesterday, to my friends, it sent a lion kissing emoji out of nowhere. Just like the water, I guess, hits it.
A lion kissing?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was an emoji.
I didn't either.
I love it.
So it's annoying. And
Jake's freaky like that. In the shower?
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Now, you got to start like taking advantage of that. You should just send like the most foul
be like,
pictures.
oh,
ever.
it's
Be
an
like,
accident.
Yeah, sorry, I butt dialed you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long you take in the shower?
Under 5.
Okay, nice. That's I feel like that's standard.
Yeah.
Long showers have, like, I feel like that's a tough life they live because they just, like, I know, people who, like, get in the shower and they just lose track of time.
Yeah.
They're always late.
Mm-hmm.
That's you, Hank? They just, like, zone out in the shower and they're always late. I feel bad for those people. I don't think they do it on purpose.
My biggest problem is that, like, I'll be like, I have 10 minutes to shower, but then I don't factor in the, like, getting ready and stuff time after.
Yeah.
So it usually is like a 20-minute.
That's guy stuff.
It's a 20-minute process.
The worst part about having long hair, without a doubt, is how long it takes you in the shower.
Yeah.
It's awful. What, Billy?
Remember when I used to plan, like, when I started my shower to when I got to work as my commute and you guys called me crazy?
Yeah.
That's why I did it.
Oh, because you had to take into account the fact that you take 20-minute showers.
No, but just like...
How long does it take to... Like, do you shower with the
So, for
frogs,
example,
or do they get bathed separately?
He uses them as loofahs.
It takes me exactly an hour from when I start getting ready to get to work.
Got it.
Okay. This is another good reply to Billy's tweet. Somebody replied asking you a question. What sign would this be helping? Which is a fair point.
It's nothing.
And then Billy says, astrology as a whole. Like rooting for the league. It would just be helping out the entire industry.
Oh, man. All right, numbers.
93.
By the way, Army has
6.
less passing yards than the Bears.
Thank God.
614.
There we go, Billy.
18.
Thank God. That would have bumped
69.
me out. A team that literally doesn't want to pass.
Apes strung together.
97.
Oh, yeah. Reminder, Kyler Murray's Mr. September, October for today.
Say it again.
Kyler Murray's Mr. September, October. You said the beginning of next season and Thursday.
38.
I don't remember 38.
I don't either. Is it new?
Hank
we got a
just-
Gami?
It's happened.
Oh.
This is our 5th time.
Fifth time.
Yeah.
I mean, you
I thought we
trying
had
to
a
pretend
Gami.
like you have an internal, remembrance of what numbers come
Yeah,
out.
it's true. That is true. But I agreed with him. I was like, yeah, no, I don't remember
To tell
either.
you the truth, the only ones I ever remember, I remember 47, and then 92 has happened a couple
Recently,
times.
April 29th was the last time it happened.
Is
Oh, so it's been a long time, Hank.
Yeah.
Apologize, Hank.
No,
Is number
fuck no.
22 ever been called? Because I got a very troubling
No.
email from someone
No 22.
named Kevin who said, is 22 in the lottery machine? I've been guessing
I
22
can take
every
them all
show.
out and
He
take a
said-
picture.
He said, I've been guessing 22 for every show for months, only to be disappointed every time, including the time you guys did like 50 numbers for Blake of the Year. Please let me know. My mental well-being is on the line.
I'm sure that there's a 22.
No, I feel like he's right.
I feel bad for that guy. I'm sorry, dude.
I'm eyeballing it right now. I don't see 22.
All right, we'll get back to you. Jake will do an audit.
Yeah.
Love you guys.